Marcos with the super chat already. Appreciate you, Marcos. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marcos. I appreciate it. It's amazing. Um, okay, I think the camera is all good like this. Let me see if this one's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. And we need to be somewhere here. Here should be fine. Next to this little sticker. Okay. How is everyone doing so far? It's Friday. Is it Friday? Is it a good Friday? Is it a TGIF type of situation? It's a little bit colder today, as you see. I am wearing my winter jacket, but with a t-shirt behind it. So fairness. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, the Orthodox people are celebrating Easter. Well, or Friday before Easter or something. I don't know. Doing something BRB? That's okay, Draculum. You're always cool. You're always cool. You're always cool, Mr. Draculum person. Hey, Danez. Danez disease. How you feeling? How you living? I'm feeling and living good. The problem is yesterday I did so much exercise and I had this very small lunch, right before we went on that bike ride together. And when I got home, I was super hungry, but I had the meeting, with the free stuff. Unhinged Friday, no order. That's cool, I guess. So I ended up eating pretty late, and I had to eat like a lot of calories, a lot. So it was very full, didn't sleep very well. It was a whole thing. You know how it is. But I always complain. I always have something to complain about. Hey, Martin, I'm always complaining. Keep following the passion, dude. Thank you. We'll keep doing it, yeah. I always have something to complain, Like there's shit on the bike lane now. Like there's literal shit on the bike lane. It's hard to explain for people who are watching. There's probably a horse, somebody riding a horse came by and they shit right on the bike lane. Another reason why you should not ride horses, but Yeah, Linda. Yeah. So Felix and Linda. Felix was first and Linda was first to find the number. Nice. I'm gonna give a shout out a little bit later. Yeah, it's a little bit. There's a lot of people. I thought I would come here today because I'm not sure if I ever will come here this week. So it would be cool. You guys want to have a conversation? You want to have a conversation?
Maybe later.
Sure. Remember to hit that like if you just joined. And W's for Marcos in the chat because he did a super chat when I wasn't even there, which is really good. So W's for Marcos. Get a job, Chip. Get a job. I do have a job. What do you mean? That's where I was last night working. And why? Why do I have to get a job? Like, I want to understand why is it that I have to find a job according to you? Let's imagine that I didn't have a job. I do have a job, but let's imagine that I didn't have a job. Why would I need to find a job? Like, why would you tell me to find a job? Do you see me asking you for money? No. So why would I go find a job? Like, even if I were to be asking for money, why would I need to find a job? Like, I fail to see why. Why say that? I see you have no conclusion. Chip, time to grow up once and for all? Oh, gooey. Bro, I worked for 20 years, man. And I'm 38, so, Well, I worked for more than 20 years. It's only officially been 20 years. Because I also worked before that. Get me a job is what that comes off as. Yeah. Why would anyone else pay for your shit? I don't know. Some people like what I do for the animals and they want to support the work that I do. It's pretty simple. Sugar troll with membership. Martin, I think somebody gifted memberships yesterday and he got that as a gift. Smash that like, says Mr. 40-year-old vegan. Thank you, David. I saw you being all awfully cool. Yeah. See if we can get some people having conversations with. Looking at the time, 5 minutes. It's been a while since I've been here. To call yourself intelligent is a dick move? Why? Why is that a dick move if I call myself intelligent? Wow, so why would you be so triggered by me thinking that I'm intelligent? Why? You have a problem with me thinking I'm intelligent? You want to have a conversation? It always takes some time for the first conversation, doesn't it? Because people are like sheep. Well, people just follow what everyone else does, don't they? The minute that one person will stop, the next will follow. It's always how it goes. Just we need one person to have the guts to stop. If animals don't want to be eaten, why are they made of food? Well, we can apply that logic also to humans. If humans don't want to be eaten, why are they made of food? Hey, you want to have a conversation?
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Sorry?
Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Am I doing it?
Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Sure.
Okay. How old are you?
27.
27, okay. Because you look young. That's how I asked. You want to come here, sit here and view?
Sure. You just stash my stuff.
Yeah, no worries. What's your name?
Mark.
Mark, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Chip?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Chip.
Where are you from, Mark?
I'm from Malaysia.
From Malaysia?
Yes.
What brings you to Amsterdam? Do you live here or?
No, I'm here on vacation.
Oh, you're here on vacation?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. You know, I just went to the Van Gogh Museum.
Yeah.
Very nice museum. Gonna go to the Rich Museum over here. It's anticipating.
Yeah.
So,
Mark, I'm an animal rights activist. I'm here to speak up for animals. How do you feel about animals?
animals are great. I love animals.
You love animals. I agree with you. Do you think it would be okay to enslave animals?
Of course not.
No, but do you think that when we farm them, we are enslaving them?
I mean, I feel like there's a mutual relationship. I think like there's systems in place where we rely on each other, and there's the ethical way to do it.
But is it
Definitely
slavery or not?
We need to figure out ways of
You could say that
mutual
it's you
benefit.
could say it's a mutual benefit also for slaves, right? Because you could say, well, I give you a house, I give you food, therefore it's okay for me to keep you confined and kill you whenever I want to, right?
I think systems need to in place, not necessarily forced to be in place, but have to be in place. Like for example, maybe the food chain. Some may say,
But is farming
cool.
slavery? That's what I'm asking. I don't know where you're going with this. I'm asking if it's farming slavery.
honestly, I can't say.
Well, if we did the same thing to humans, if instead of the animal, we remove the animal that we're farming and we put a human instead, would that be slavery?
I guess so.
So then why wouldn't the act, if the act itself is slavery towards one individual, why wouldn't it be slavery towards another individual?
Well, it would be slavery.
So it's slavery also towards animals then?
I guess so.
Yeah. So then if we shouldn't enslave animals, then that means we shouldn't farm animals.
But then, what are the implications of this?
We don't consume animal products, if that's what you're asking on our side.
I see.
Yeah.
Um,
And animals are not longer enslaved, killed, abused, slaughtered, exploited.
then what do we do about the? No, I mean like generally, what do you do about the desire?
The desire to enslave animals.
Desire to eat good food.
Well, you can eat good food without enslaving animals.
I'm just being very honest. I'm also a bit of a foodie.
Same.
But like a nice. I'm sorry. Would this be offensive if I describe a steak experience?
No, I mean you can describe a steak experience, but would you be open to describing it also on the side of the animal?
Yeah.
Okay, so then describe
Because
it on
I-
your experience, and then describe it what the animal who died for it experienced.
I actually would. Yeah. I actually would like to explain a little bit about that because explaining it to the animal in
No,
a way.
not to the animal. Explain it to me what the animal went through.
What?
Explain to me what you like out of the steak, and what the animal gets because you bought a steak.
What the animal gets?
Yeah.
The animal gets taken care of. In the ideal scenario, he's taken care of. He's protected from.
No, not for the steak. He doesn't get taken care of for the steak, no. But unless you mean,
yeah, that's-
unless you make it like a euphemism, we're gonna take
that's
care of them.
That's unfortunate. Factory farming is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm trying to paint a picture of.
But what does happen to the animals? What happens to the animal if you buy a steak?
They get slaughtered.
Yeah. Yeah. They get a knife to the throat.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
Well-
think that your 20 minutes of pleasure justifies taking a whole existence away from an animal?
We provide the animal a whole existence. Ideally, in an ethical farming situation, you protect the animal from predators. You
So if you
feed it.
replace the cow with a dog, would it still be ethical?
Um,
You can have dog steaks, right?
you can.
So would it still be ethical?
What do you mean? Of
Like,
course.
would you? Oh, so you'd find it ethical if we farm dogs and kill them for products we don't need?
Farm, no, but like if you're in a farm life, and maybe food is unfortunately your food is a bit short, and like you have a good dog.
But none of those
population.
situations are up here, right? Like let's not
Yeah,
put these
of course.
situations
That's
where
why we don't
if
farm
food
dogs.
is short. The
That's why
reality
we
is,
don't farm dogs now.
yeah, but what's the difference? Why do you think it's okay to farm other animals when we have alternatives
Alternatives to what?
to farming animals?
No. Alternative. We don't have alternative. Oh, sorry. My mom's here.
Sure, we have
guess we're
alternatives
running out of
towards killing innocent animals and eating their
Sorry.
flesh.
I really have to go.
Sure.
Let me take a video.
Okay. Have a good one.
Thank
man.
you.
Cheers.
Hey, good chat.
Try and be more compassionate and don't not so selfish, okay? Because you're not the only one who lives on this planet. Other sentient beings also deserve to live just as much as you do.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair if I had power to cut your throat just because I think your flesh tasted good. That's why it's not fair also to do to other animals, okay? Have a good one.
Thank you.
Cheers. He wasn't really getting it anyway, which is good that it ended there earlier. Hey, if you're new here or if you're enjoying the stream, remember to hit that like. And hey, let's do this one thing, little cool thing. Are you vegan? Then type, you know what? If you think this conversation, if I did extremely well in the conversation, type anything in the chat. And if you think I did really badly, then don't say anything at all. Hey, Felek. Nice to see you here. Rich literally typed anything. That's funny, Rich. See, Biska agrees that I did great in this conversation. Thank you, Biska. TP agrees. Hey, B12 Babe is here. Oh, always a pleasure when you're here. Stalemate. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Kathy. I appreciate everyone thinking that I did so well in that conversation. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I did really well indeed. If you think being vegan is cool, type absolutely anything you want in the chat. If you think you shouldn't be vegan, then don't type anything. It's my day off, so I actually get to be on my phone. Hell yeah, that's cool. A little bit of phone caressing, phone relationship situation. I like that. Love it. It's always good when you have a little bit of a day off and you get to spend some time with your phone. Hey, vegan Tina. Love it. Oh, see, Biska also agrees that he should be vegan. Nice. So many people agree. I appreciate it. You're right. Would you eat bugs? No, there's no need for it. I think we should have freedom. Completely agree.
How do you like the building?
But freedom stops when you're infringing on the rights of anybody else, right? That's the whole point of freedom. You have the freedom to pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Isn't that what they say? Isn't that what they teach you in kindergarten? You can pick your nose and you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose. It's pretty simple. That's what we're saying. You can pick your food, and you can pick an animal to love, but you can't pick an animal to be food because that's not really fair towards the animal. This guy says you look sickly. Yeah, I do look pretty sick, man. I'm pretty muscly. You guys want to have a conversation? How old are you?
I'm 19.
19? How old
21.
are you? 21. Are you guys okay being live on YouTube?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
How many viewers we got? 124.
124.
You guys want to come here?
What's good, chat? Who's on it?
You want to be on live also? How old are you?
20.
Are you okay being live?
Say that again?
Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah, of course I am.
Okay. You too also. Are you okay? You want to have a conversation? I'll have a conversation. Okay, then you got to come here.
Alright, come on, let's make the circle a bit bigger.
Okay, love it. Love it. Well, what are you guys' names?
I'm Will.
Will.
I'm Curtis.
Jimmy. I'm George. I'm Chip. Where
Nice
do
to
you
meet
guys
you.
from?
UK.
UK. Okay. So I'm gonna pose a hypothetical scenario out there. I'm curious how you guys would behave. So imagine there's a guy kicking a dog right now.
Yeah.
Would you guys try to stop that
Yeah,
guy?
of course, yeah. Of course, yeah.
Okay. But what if when you're trying to stop this guy, he's like, wait, I'm doing it for exercise.
Yeah. Still wrong. Yeah, still wrong, yeah.
But he'll explain to you how in his family they've been doing it their whole life. That's how they exercise, and we need to exercise. So why would that be wrong?
Abusing a dog?
The dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just wrong. Violence is a crime. It might hit Kurt. It's a crime. Might get arrested.
What
That's
if he
animal
kills the
abuse.
dog before that? So then he just uses their body as a punching bag. And he kills them right, like he kills them from the back of the head. The dog never sees it coming. So
I think I'd then send him in the way to buy a boxing glove.
well, would it be wrong if he chooses to do this?
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Why would that be wrong?
It's just a dog. He loves dogs. Morals. You have morals to beat someone up. No matter if it's a
So
dog.
he doesn't love dogs.
Doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter what you feel about dogs. It's just wrong because you're killing them.
Yeah.
Without any
What did the dog? Yeah. Yeah, the dog.
nothing. Right? He actually had a pretty good life. Like he gave a dog a really good life, and then at 1 or 2 years old, when they're biggest, shot them in the head, use their body as a punching bag. All that terrible pain.
Yeah, terrible, yeah.
Terrible. Okay. What if he ate the dog afterwards? Would that make it okay?
No.
You can't say words. Just kill it.
Yeah.
Dogs aren't animals that.
Yeah, they are.
Well, yeah, but where are
Sure. But why would that be wrong, though?
It's a dog.
I don't know how to explain
dog.
it, but
It's a dog.
It's a dog. They're pets.
Well, they're made of meat, so you can eat them.
You can, but
And this dog was not a pet. He was brought into existence specifically to be used for this purpose.
Okay, but so humans. Like, humans are still meat. You're
Yeah.
not gonna go eat Jimmy right here, are you?
So you're looking pretty tasty.
But
to
I
me,
know
to be
why it's
fair.
wrong to eat him. I know why it's wrong to eat also the dog. I'm asking you why it's wrong to eat the dog.
It's just your morals.
Yeah.
You just don't do it. It's
Yeah.
simple.
he's your friend.
No matter, like, yeah, you
Dog's your friend.
could
Well,
say
you're saying it's wrong, but I'm asking why is it wrong?
you could say like, oh, it's natural. What do you call it? The food chain, but your morals tell you not to do that. The dog
way
provides
you're
something
brought
for
up.
you.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on your culture, though, doesn't it? 'Cause if you're brought up in it, it's normal.
So do we think that culture dictates what's right and wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, to some extent.
So in the countries where female genital mutilation is moral, where literally they cut off the clitoris of women
Yeah.
so that they don't feel pleasure during sex.
Yeah.
In
Is
our
that
eyes,
moral?
that's wrong. But in their eyes, that's probably
So you think that's right because it's cultural to them.
No, it's not.
In our eyes, it's not right, but to their
But you can't
eyes,
say it's wrong because my culture is the ultimate culture, right? Like when you say something is right or wrong, you have to apply it universally. So that means if you're saying it's wrong to do this to the dog because it's my culture, then you should say when somebody says, well, it's right to do this because it's my culture, you should say, okay, you're right, that is right to do, and you should say, well, that is moral because it is their culture. They're using the same logical reasoning that you're using to justify whether it's right or wrong to do this to a dog.
I can see where you're coming from, but the only thing is, that is a living thing. whereas we don't just go around killing dogs here. Is it like I don't know? It's a hard thing to compare. I see where you're coming from.
So why would it be okay to do it to other animals then?
In other words, it's not.
So it's not okay to do it to other animals.
But I think. Like, alright,
it's a hard one, isn't
there's
it?
levels to this, okay? Because you see an ant on the floor, okay, and you accidentally step on the sand.
Accidentally, right?
Yes, okay. Or yeah,
No, you
accidentally.
shouldn't
Could,
say
yeah,
accidentally.
it could be purposely, could be accidentally, but in some people's minds.
Well, if you do it
It's only a-
purposely, I would say it's pretty bad, huh?
Yeah, of course. I completely agree. But alright, actually no. Let's do this, okay? Accidentally, you step on an ant.
Yeah.
It's, but okay, and now accidentally
Give Chanel a shout out.
you run over a dog. What are you gonna feel more bad about?
It doesn't matter what I feel more bad about, right? I will obviously feel more bad about
that's
running
like-
over a dog, but that's just my feelings. My feelings aren't a metric for what is right or wrong. My feelings are just a metric for how I feel towards something.
Sometimes
Like for
feelings
instance,
are.
let me explain it this way. For instance, I might feel bad about hitting a dog with my car, and I might feel worse about it than about I don't know, somebody in the somewhere I don't know, I don't even see dying, right? Like I don't like. There surely is a child somewhere out there right now who died of a horrible disease, who suffered while dying. I would still feel worse for killing the dog right now because my feeling would be what's in my close proximity makes me feel worse than something that I don't see. But I don't think we should derive morality, or I don't think I should say, well, that is right or that is okay because I don't feel good about it, and this is wrong because I feel bad about it, right? We judge what is right and wrong based on logic and critical thinking, not our feelings towards them, right?
Yeah, I agree. I do think feelings come into it partially though. Like just overall in life, feelings is like what you base your logic on.
To some extent, right? Like you have to have a base, I guess, which would be some form towards feelings. But you guys seem to be okay seem to have a problem with doing this to dogs. So why don't you have a problem with doing this to other animals?
Probably because I have a dog
yeah, I
and I'm
get-
close to my dog.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do that to my dog.
Yeah.
It's how you said like, oh, I wouldn't feel bad about like a child dying halfway across the road from like a terrible disease.
Yeah.
But you'd feel bad about the dog. It's just like that's what I mean by feelings comes into it.
I like that. Okay, but do you think that then that means, because I can agree that they're both bad, right? The child dying of a bad disease or me killing an ant would both be bad. Do you think it's bad also that we kill animals for food?
There's two ways to think about it. Like
It's hard, yeah.
yes, it is.
It's the vegan talk
Yes,
show.
it is bad,
You know
but
that? Yeah, you know her?
it's like it's almost built into you because you are a person to want to do it. But like, I guess it's the way you're brought up, and like, once you're going back to like religion, like stuff like that, it's the way you're brought up in. What's it called?
It's the specific rules that you follow.
Yes. It
that
completely
religion,
depends
right?
on that. Like the way you're brought up as a young person changes everything in life.
But what if you were brought up in a situation where
If I was brought up and I was known
where
to,
slavery was legal,
I would think it is completely normal.
and you would
just
you would
wouldn't know-
participate in it?
You probably wouldn't know it though, would you? That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
You wouldn't
like
know.
we like to think.
Because we could compare that to having a dog right
Sure.
now as a pet. That's slavery.
I agree with you, but like I'm curious because we like to think of ourselves as moral people, right? And we always say, why? How dare the Germans did what they did to the Jewish people? How dare the
Yeah.
white people did what they did to the black people in the U.S.? But it seems like what you're saying is that if you were born during those times, you might have been one of those people who put a Jewish person in a slaughterhouse, or same for a black or white person owning a black person, because people were just doing
I
it.
wouldn't just like I. It's hard to explain, but like if I was born during that time, I'm not saying I would agree with any of it, but you wouldn't know any better.
But do you agree with this one right now? Do you agree that it's bad to kill animals? That's what I'm asking. For food. For food we don't need because we
I
don't
think
need
it
it.
depends on the animal. It's like a farm animal.
Yeah.
Like,
You see, this is exactly the justification that
it
also
depends,
white people
like,
used to
of
enslave
course,
black
I'm
people. and
always
stuff.
going to feel bad about animals dying,
Yeah.
but if an animal's coming to its end of its life, let's say that, I know a lot of animals aren't.
Yeah, but you don't eat animals.
Yeah.
No.
You don't really. But
In my opinion, I'm from the countryside where there's farms everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think this could sound bad, but I think I'm a bit too selfish to care. When I'm eating, because I quite like eating steaks, you know,
Yeah.
all the meats. I think as a human, I think every human's selfish to an extent. I think me, in general, is too selfish to care about that. But then also, I see dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, they're all as pets, which to me is different. Because for a pet, you learn to love that pet. That pet helps you out.
But how is it fair? Because like we obviously have power over all of them, and we say, well, you were born a certain species, and I'm gonna put you in this box because of how you're born. You were born this species, so I'm gonna put you in this box. Now, the ones that are in this box, I'm gonna cut your throat as babies, sexually exploit you, do all the absolutely the worst things in the world to you. Things that I wouldn't do even to my worst enemy, but I'm gonna do them to you because I get some benefit out of it afterwards.
I mean, you've got to think of it as in like maybe like safari,
And it also
like a
comes
lion.
into a lot of money making. People will see money and go crazy for it. And
But how is it like I still have yet to get an answer. Is it wrong or is it right what we do to animals,
Well, I
knowing
mean,
that
lions,
it's optional? to us?
lions do it to gazelles, like in the wild. It's like because they're the apex predator, let's say. So it's I see it as a circle of life.
Yeah.
because You got a lion, kills a gazelle.
What's the circle of
young-
life? Please describe it.
Circle of life is you're born, you survive.
You're born and
you live by your wits.
You're born
You
at
end
so-
up dying.
you're born
So if
at
I kill you,
somewhere
could I justify it by saying it's the circle of life?
But
Well, I
that's
mean,
not
because
part of the food
we're
chain.
both. It's like we're both the same sort of level, if that makes sense. Like if a lion kills
I
a
don't think so.
gazelle,
I think I'm
like-
superior to you. Therefore, it's okay for me to kill you, right?
Oh,
Oh wow.
let me get on my knees.
I'm just trying to understand, like, because you see, like, you don't think you're equal to animals, but I can explain to you why you're exactly equal to them. But you seem to think that you're superior to them, and I can also say, well, I think I'm superior to you because I judge it based on how many interviews I had on the street.
Yeah, fair
I had a
enough.
lot more than you, so therefore I'm superior than you. It's okay for me to kill you. Would that be fair to do this to you?
We have laws that say you can't do that, so probably not.
Yeah, but let's leave legality on the side because we had laws where it said it's okay to do marital rape, right? Like laws are not necessarily a good judgment of what is right or wrong.
No, I'm going to say it's not a good thing to kill animals.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's wrong.
I think it's wrong. But like to what Jimmy says, you can be selfish, and you sometimes just don't think about it in the
That's
time.
completely how I feel about what you've asked. For me, I would never kill an animal. I'd never put a gun to a cow's head, whatever. I'd never do that. But then I'm selfish and I want to eat the food I like. So I don't know how else to say it. It's wrong, but I'm a selfish human.
And the thing is, I'm sure if 90%,
I don't know how else to say it.
I'm
to be
sure if
honest.
90% of the world was vegan, more and more people would become vegan. because
Well, if
it's-
90% of the world would be vegan, you wouldn't be allowed to do it because we would make laws so that you wouldn't be allowed to
Back
do
to
that.
what you said though.
But
No, like back to what you said about there not being any laws, nothing like that, because not
Yeah.
laws are always correct.
Yeah.
If veganism, I guess, whatever
Yeah.
you call it, became like a massive thing overnight,
yeah,
and I didn't think I was gonna become vegan one night, and then all my friends around me became vegan, I'd want to become vegan. But like,
so you just want to do what everyone else does around you?
no, because it's like it's influencing you. Not it's not. Oh, I just want to be like them. It's you're influencing and you're seeing more of it. You're seeing it's like reminders in the back of your head.
Sure, but it's a little bit like you're essentially, because it's kind of interesting because he says he's superior to animals, and what you're justifying right now is a behavior that is very much synonymous to all animals, right? You're just going by some form of instinct, by what everyone else is doing also. So you're not making decisions rationally in that case. You're just making decisions based on kind of like, oh, you kind of look a little bit on what everyone else is doing, kind of look at the options, and then you're just making decisions kind of based on these, not necessarily on some form of logic.
You know when you said we don't need all the meats, like we don't need to eat.
Yeah.
What's an alternative?
Well, for meat, we have plant-based meat, we have tofu, we have tempeh, we have seitan, we have chickpeas. Well, chickpeas are not really a good source of protein, but we have soy chunks, I said. I don't know, those are good enough, I say.
But what about killing
You
a
reckon?
plant? Because that's a living thing. That's
Yeah,
not
I
really-
mean, I don't know if you're being genuine and actually think that killing a plant is the same as cutting the throat of an animal, but
With the bees and stuff like
Still
that.
killing them, though, aren't
The
you?
bees and that pollinate.
yeah, but a plant is not an
pollinate-
individual, that's the whole
The
thing.
bees pollinate like half of what we have, right? So
Yeah.
if you were to chop down half of what we have, that means the bees don't survive, and therefore that's killing an animal as well, in my eyes personally.
So we should kill less plants.
well, we don't need. Well, the thing is
I've-
as well,
oh.
whatever
I
you
don't- I
do,
think
whatever
it's-
you do,
I
there's a
think another thing
negative
is-
to that thing.
I think-
right?
Well,
So
no,
it
not
doesn't-
really, because you see, your options are between two simple things. One, you kill a fuck ton of plants, enslave and kill an innocent animal, and two, you kill about a tenth of those plants, and you get the same nutrition. So why would the one where you kill a fuck ton of plants, deforest more, cause way more eutrophication, cause biodiversity loss like up to 5 times more, and enslave and kill an innocent being who feels, who has emotion, just like a dog does?
Yeah, yeah.
And on this other side, you could just the whole thing is the production of plants, which it's not perfect. I'm not claiming that veganism is perfect, but it's monumentally better than the alternative, isn't it? So that's the whole thing.
Just
Yeah.
depends on.
That's why I
there's
say
so
there's
many.
gonna be a
There's so many
negative to
different
it, so-
factors to it.
I
like-
think it should be implemented, but I don't think it will.
Well, my question is, like, I don't think there's any moral justification to say that it shouldn't be implemented. I don't think there's any logical way to say that. But why aren't you guys vegan? Like,
So
you
I
said you're
love meat.
selfish, so you're also selfish as far as I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
everyone's
Do
got
like a
an
good
element
KFC
of
Okay.
selfish in
But
them.
would you accept that as a justification if you
I
were
mean,
the
it-
victim? Would
It's-
you say,
no,
hey,
well, yeah,
it's
I'd
okay,
say-
they're selfish, it's okay for them to kill me?
Yeah, I mean, people say that every day, like they're just selfish people. You know?
So you would accept it as a justification if somebody killed your mom and said, you know what, he's selfish, he'd get some pleasure out of it.
Well, no, because that'd be then a law.
But,
thing,
well, yeah,
right?
once
'Cause
again,
it's
it goes
because we
back
got
to
a
the
law.
whole feeling.
Oh, he goes around the law. He goes around the law.
Goes around the. What do you mean?
Like he can do it. You know, Elon Musk has so much money that I'm pretty sure he can kill absolutely anyone in this planet and get away with it.
Well,
Again,
you still think that's wrong, wouldn't you?
again, you're sat there around the pub going, "It's like, what can we do? Right? It's like, what can we do about it? We can't really do anything about it, can we?"
Right.
Well, the thing about it is yeah, you can't do because you're in the position of the victim.
Well, this is
But what
what I
I'm
mean.
trying to explain to you is like, you see, when you're in the position of the victim, you say it's okay because there's nothing really I can do about it. But it's not, because you obviously wouldn't like it. But when you're in the position of the oppressor, I'm telling you, well, now it is when you can do something about it. So why not do something about it? And you say, well, because I get pleasure from it. So you're putting this, you're basically putting yourself between a rock and a crazy place, because you're like saying, well, yeah, sure, when I'm the oppressor, I don't mind doing it because I get benefit from it. But if somebody else is the oppressor, it's fucked. But what else can I do? Right? Like, do we really want to be in a world where we start thinking this way, where when we have the power, when we can actually make change, when we can actually choose to not oppress innocent animals, we say, nah, I gotta feel like a man. I gotta eat gotta kill that small animal so that I feel like a man. Otherwise, I don't feel like a man.
Kind of cooking us, I can't lie.
It's a lot of taking. It's a lot of taking.
I'm not. My intent is not to cook you. My intent is to just to explain to you that this is kind of the real position that it is, right?
What do you
And-
mean, make us a man? What do you mean?
I mean, let's face it. Eating meat is very much tied to masculinity in the
Yeah,
current
but
society. right?
I don't tie it down to that. I just,
Okay.
I
So then,
taste-
so wait a minute. So then, let me ask you this, because you live in the UK. You have plant-based meat that is 99% similar to actual meat. So why not
More
eat that then?
expensive, it's less affordable.
It's actually cheaper. There's several solutions that are actually
How
cheaper.
much research has gone into
I don't know. I don't think it
into it
tastes
all
the
though,
same.
like in terms of how, like,
You
'cause
don't
obviously
think it
it's not
No.
been around that long. The research gone into it.
Yeah,
How
30
far is it?
years, 700,
Yeah.
30 years
I-
of research, 700,000
Then
people.
that's my.
No, no, I'm not gonna lie. The plant stuff does taste pretty damn similar.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's,
it's,
it's not
depends.
bad.
we
I'm
have
su- I'm
studies
su- I'm
showing that
just
it's
depends
healthier,
on
yeah.
I'm
what the
sure
study's
it's nothing
saying,
wrong with
like,
it as well.
At the end of the day.
You kind of look like Joe Fraser, by the way. You
Joe
know?
Fraser, who's
You,
that?
know, you don't know the bodybuilder?
Yeah.
on
Oh,
YouTube?
Joe
Oh yeah, of course. I've been gym 2 months. Come on, boy.
You kind of look like him and you talk like him too.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. He's a handsome guy, but I think he's way taller than you, though. He's like,
this guy's high. Put your
Yeah.
face on.
yeah.
Yeah, wait.
yeah.
I'm actually 6'3", boys.
I think he's actually 6'3", actually.
I wish.
No, yeah.
Yeah, what were we saying there?
I forgot.
I
I'm
can't
sorry, I
remember.
got lost in that.
I can't remember.
No, it's just like, like if you have these alternatives that you can easily get, like all this taste, why choose to oppress an innocent animal?
Yeah, no, I completely see where you're coming from. Maybe I might try implement it in my life.
Let's just do this, because we
To
have
be
the
fa- to
long
be fair,
conversation. Yeah,
to be fair, I think there's a healthy middle ground
yeah.
where like you're not abusing it, like you're still like
Yeah.
putting stuff into the environment, etc. Like I'm sure everybody does their bit where it's like, oh, not have a plastic straw, like don't litter, like
Well, plastic straws are bullshit.
recycle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
completely agree. Like, there's so much they have plastic lids, but they won't do plastic.
Yeah,
straws.
you know, like
But,
the people who eat fish and have a problem with plastic straws are the
Yeah.
most biggest hypocrites because the 80% of the plastic in the ocean is from the fishing industry.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I completely agree. That's just, but that's one of my examples of like you're trying to do your good deed, etc.
But this isn't like that, right? Like I get why on your side it could seem that way, but the problem is that on their side is like every time you make a choice, you're not just like voting with your money as you would with the environment. Say, this time you're actually putting an animal to a slaughterhouse. You're actually demanding that another animal goes into a slaughterhouse. You're demanding that, hey, the way you got this meat, I want you to do more of that so I can get more meat. That's what you're saying when you're buying that. So there's a more direct impact out of all of this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
But let me give you guys some cards. I appreciate you guys stopping by and having this conversation with me. And
Amazing.
you know, it's not. I hope you guys think more and actually make some changes because.
Opened my mind up a
Cheers,
bit,
mate.
I'd say.
Yeah, don't just open your mind. Actually, act. Maybe watch, Dominion. Just it's on that documentary. Actually, part of it is filmed in the UK, so you can see what it is that you're supporting. And if you don't like it, you have all the resources there to help you out. Okay.
All right, amazing.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for being
Nice
at least
chat.
open-minded to the conversation and such, right?
Cheers, mate.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you
Cheers.
too,
And
man.
enjoy Amsterdam.
See you,
Thank
Chuck.
you. Right, let's go to the coffee shop.
Okay. Do that. Yeah. Yeah, well, we're trying. We're trying different things. As I said, I'm going to be nicer, a little bit nicer. I'm trying to get people to actually change. That's what we're doing, huh? We're trying to actually get some changes. Hey, Vegan Tina. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good talk, yeah. Yeah, remember Jesus. Remember to hit that like, everyone. I'm trying to, grow the channel, do all of these little things, do good, do all that. Should we have psychos in the chat? Do we? Yeah, we probably do. There's a lot of people who are psychos on today's world. I like when he said, "Oh, you're kind of cooking us." I kind of was cooking them. I wasn't necessarily intending that. Yeah. They're fairly open-minded, and you got them thinking. Yeah, sometimes that's all we can do, huh? And that's okay. It's insane. Like if there's no sun, it's cold. It's pretty cold. Like my hands are also. And I hate having psoriasis. I hate having this fucking autoimmune disease. I hate it. All these people with genetic things saying, "Oh, you're the perfect creation from God." Fuck your God. If your God would make me the perfect creation, he wouldn't have given me a genetic disease called psoriasis. Fuck off. Hey Ben, nice to see you here. You wanna have a conversation? They eat their man God flesh on Sundays. Yeah, you don't even know what that is. It just essentially means I get really dry skin on my hands and I have to constantly reapply. I need huge amounts of vitamin D to keep it in check, but yeah. So essentially when it's sunny, like in the summer I don't have a problem, in the winter it's worse. My mom has it too. It's kind of shitty, but yeah. Ointment, yeah, essentially. Chip, can you tell the carnivores they aren't cute? Carnivore behavior makes people angry and ugly subliminally. Well, if you actually think if you're actually consuming a carnivore diet, then that's pretty stupid. The carnivore diet is probably the stupidest diet that people have invented. It is nothing more than propaganda of animal agriculture, I would say. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, VPM was showing that in the Lancet report that some of the the influencers that are carnivore are were in fact being paid to not say that they have issues, to hide that they are consuming vegetables and such. So they weren't even fully carnivore. So they actually are lying to you with all this bullshit. So I don't know. And if you think you feel better on it, it might be just because, you know, it's an elimination diet, but just because you feel better in the moment doesn't mean that it is actually healthy for you. Um, yeah. In fact, it is highly correlated with an increase in LDL-C and ApoB, um, which is, you know, very bad because that correlates to a higher risk of heart disease, which is the #1 killer worldwide. Yeah. So it's pretty simple. So no, don't be stupid. Don't be on a carnivore diet. If you're on the carnivore diet, you're stupid. Well, I don't know if you're stupid, but you're making a stupid choice by being on a carnivore diet. Maybe you have some form of intelligence, but by being on a carnivore diet, you're making a stupid choice. Drew Bay says you're stupid. Well, Drew Bay, if you want to insult me, at least learn to spell it properly. Not the smartest decisions, yeah. You eat hemp seeds or nah? Nah, brah. Hemp seeds are expensive. Linzad. Flax seeds. That's what I eat. They're much cheaper. I used to eat hemp seeds, but, you know, I'm poor, so I'm eating flax seeds now. I ate steak last night and pork buns tonight. Well, congratulations, you exploited two innocent sentient beings. One of them was sent into a gas chamber because of you. So, you know, I guess you feel good about supporting gas chambers. I don't know what to say. Hey, you want to have a conversation?
Do I want to have a conversation?
Yeah. This is what it's about. Are you okay being live on YouTube? How old are you?
I'm 20.
20. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. I need some consent. That's why. You can also always, you know, like say, fuck it, I'm done. No more. You want to come here so that you interview?
Okay.
Nice. Love it. What's your name?
Anna.
Anna. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Lexi.
Lexi. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. So I was actually mentioning consent over there, and I'm actually curious. How important is consent to you?
Very.
The most important thing.
Very important. I completely agree with you. Consent is very important. What if the individual, when you want to do an action towards an individual, you obviously need to get consent from them, right? What if the individual cannot consent? Maybe they're a child, maybe they're a dog, for example. What do we do in those situations?
You have a social responsibility to recognize that that person can't consent, and you can't assume that they can consent in that situation.
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you still do the action?
No.
Or? No. But what if the action is in the benefit of the individual that you're doing it?
In a medical situation.
Like for example, yeah, maybe you're
medical
taking the dog
emergency?
to the vet, right? The dog definitely doesn't want to go to the vet, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that in that situation, can you ignore consent or because you're looking after their interest?
In a medical context, I think yes. Like if someone's unconscious, like if I was unconscious, I'd want you to take me to the hospital, even if I can't give you verbal consent that I want you to take me to the hospital. But it has a very specific context in which it's okay.
I completely agree. So if somebody cannot consent, the only time when you can do an action towards them is if it's in their, if it's for detriment, right?
Yeah.
It's for for their benefit. If it's in their interest, in other words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Completely agree with you. Do you think that animals can consent, for example?
Animals?
Yeah.
No. Not verbally,
Not verbally.
but there's still cues that they can give to their owner, kind of. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to put your cat in the bath and it's going like this, you can tell that it's not consenting to go into the bath. But if you're giving it food and it's running towards food, it's consenting to having food. It's not verbal, but you can read the context from that action.
But in that situation, you anyway are looking after their interests. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
watching them right? Okay, I agree with that. Do you think that, for example, when we're forcing animals into slaughterhouses for food, for clothing, for stuff like that, we are neglecting their consent in the process?
Yes.
Yeah. Are we looking after their interests when we're doing that?
No.
So should we be doing that?
We're hungry. We need to eat.
Do we need to eat animals?
I think yes.
What if you found out that we don't need to eat animals?
I would still eat animals.
Okay.
I
So then consent doesn't really matter to you.
It does, but I'm going to eat a hamburger. I don't know.
Okay.
It's different.
How does that tie into the whole consent situation?
I mean, I think that there's like a certain hierarchy of needs that human beings have, and one of them is to eat.
But not to eat animals, right? Like I could say I could kill you or your friend and eat you because you are made of meat after all, but it wouldn't be justified because I have other alternatives. So why would it be justified for me to kill an innocent animal knowing that I have other alternatives?
I don't know, I'm hungry.
Okay. So in this situation, consent doesn't matter to you? Ask again.
No,
No? Why is it?
because I'm hungry. I don't know.
Okay. So if somebody says they're hungry, do they have some form of logical reasoning to kill you
I
and eat
don't
you?
think that animals, like, I don't think that consent is in regard to animals. I just don't think that that applies there at all.
Okay, then why is I'm assuming you would have a problem with zoophilia, you know, and sex with animals.
Yes.
Why is that bad?
That's just disgusting.
Sure, but it's not just disgusting; it's also bad.
Yes.
Why is that bad?
I mean, there's ways to humanely meet the need that you need to eat food, and like having sex with an animal is not justified because you're basically torturing it. But if you're just like, there's justified ways.
What if you kill the animal before?
That's gross.
Yeah, but then it would be justified.
It's not though.
Why not? The animal is
There are a lot of
they're not
reasons you
suffering
shouldn't
anymore.
have sex with an animal that aren't related to consent.
What are they?
Hygiene, STDs, like that's a big one.
Okay, so sexually transmitted diseases between humans and animals.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't do that. It's also
Okay.
just not right
Why is it not right?
because that's not natural.
Oh, animals have a lot of the time. In nature, it happens a lot of the times that animals try to have sex with other animals.
With other animals?
Yeah, you've seen a dog try to hump a doll. Of course, they're gonna try to hump also another animal. Like, come on, we've seen that happens. Yeah,
I've never seen that, but
yeah. How do you think we got ligers, for example, a combination between a tiger and a
yeah,
lion?
that's not natural though.
It is. What do you mean?
No, that's forced.
I think there are some that are forced, but there are also some that are not forced. Yeah. Like it does happen in nature a lot
Yeah,
of
but it
times.
doesn't end well. The offspring isn't healthy.
Sure,
It's
but in a
not
situation
natural.
when there's no, like, why does it matter if it's natural or not? That's my question. Because anyway, what we do to animals is not natural, right? Like, there's no slaughterhouses in nature. There's no farms in
Sure.
nature. So if you go by it's not natural, then you should be against farming from the beginning because farming is not natural.
It could be natural of humans though. Like it could be human nature.
Jesus Christ, that would make it artificial. That's the definition of it being natural. Then by that definition, everything is natural, right? Plastic is natural. Why? Because it's made by humans. It's made by human. Is plastic natural?
I'm not talking. I'm talking about like human nature and like.
Well,
like
it's not human nature
how
to farm.
people
no.
are inherently.
It's not human nature to farm. What do you mean? If we were human nature to farm, we would have always farmed. But we clearly started farming at like 3,000 years ago. What do you think before that? We were not humans before farming?
It was a different type of human.
No, it was the same type of human.
People have evolved to be very different. I don't. Think,
Homo sapiens existed before farming.
Sure, but it was completely different.
What was it?
There aren't a lot of similarities culturally.
Completely identical. Do you think we evolved in the span of 3,000, 4,000? Wait. I think farming is 10,000 years ago. Do you think we evolved in the span of 10, 11,000 years ago? I think the only thing that we as humans have evolved is the capability to digest lactose, and not all humans have that, as we know on the planet. But everything else, no, we're the same.
10,000 years?
Yeah. We're just educated right now, but it's exactly the same, yeah. Do you have any evidence to make that claim? Say,
Not on me currently.
yeah, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, for example, would you have a problem with eating dogs?
I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't have a problem with eating dogs.
Well, I mean, it's just not part of the culture. But, I mean,
But would it be right or wrong? Is my question.
I don't think it's inherently wrong.
Okay, so it's okay to eat dogs. Interesting. Okay, well, that's interesting. Not a lot of people bite that bullet. Okay. Is it okay to so dogs? It's okay to eat. What about severely intellectually challenged human beings? Ones who have the same intellectual capacity of dogs.
Like
Why not?
cannibalism.
Yeah, why would that be wrong?
How are you judging that a human has the same intellectual capability as a dog?
Oh, there's several ways we can judge that. We can judge by brain size, for example. We can judge by intellectual capacity, size of the prefrontal cortex. We can literally give them tasks and see how they do perform. So if we do the same tasks and we know for a fact that they perform in the same manner, they have the same brain size, they have the same prefrontal cortex, would that make it okay to exploit and slaughter innocent humans? So what's the difference then between an innocent human and an innocent dog that makes it okay to kill one but not the other?
Because one is a human and one is a dog.
Sure, but that's not the difference. I'm asking you what's the difference between them. I know they're a human and a dog. I'm asking what's the difference between them that justifies the difference in view.
I don't know. I guess I just view humans like above the dog.
Sure, and
Like
you
in
can
a
view that, and that's
hierarchy.
perfectly fine. Just like you view your friend above me, just like you view your family above your friend or however, right? Like you form a scale of values throughout your life, right? Some people are more valuable, some people are less valuable. My question is, why do you think if I get to draw the line here and cut your throat, why do you think it's okay to draw the line before, like after this human and not before them? Seeing as you could easily kill both and eat them.
I understand your argument, but it's definitely more nuanced than you're making it.
Please explain.
You can't put a human being and a dog on the same field of.
Intrinsically, they have the same value, yeah.
Intrinsically, according to what?
According to the fact that what gives us intrinsic value. What do you think gives a human being intrinsic value?
Oh, like, do you believe that people have a soul?
No. What gives a no?
Okay.
Because we cannot measure a soul. So what gives a human being intrinsic value?
Well, if you don't believe that people have a soul because you can't measure it, then I mean, I think that there are qualities people have.
What
that
do you take the
can't
word
measure.
believe to mean?
Believe?
Yeah.
What you hold to be true.
Exactly. So what you hold to be true.
Your
In order to
perspective.
believe something to hold to be true, I only hold things to be true if I'm provided with evidence for them. For example, you say you have a soul. Do you have any evidence for that? No, you do not. So why would I believe that you have a soul? So I ask you again, what's the difference? Like, what makes a human being have intrinsic value?
I think that there are things that can be true without evidence.
How? What? Like what?
Emotions, feelings, anything that isn't just.
So if I
numerical or measured.
feel that women don't deserve rights, does that mean that women don't deserve rights because it's true?
No, but it could be a feeling you have.
Well, I don't. I'm actually a feminist. I also fight for women's rights. But like, I'm just trying to grasp whatever is this thing that you're saying, because you're saying you can judge whether something is right or wrong based on your feelings, right?
No. But I'm saying that feelings are something that are like real. It's not like feelings are real despite not being able to measure them.
Well, we can measure feelings. What are you talking about? Yeah. We can easily measure feelings. Yeah. And feelings are real. We know that feelings are real because we know where they're coming from in the brain. We know how they act. We know how they get generated. We know what triggers them. We know a lot of
Sure,
things
but like what about
feelings.
more obscure topics like love? Is love not real? Like
We know exactly what triggers love. We know what types of love there are. We know what the emotions behind love. We know which part of the brain gets activated. We know a lot of stuff like that.
what is
yeah.
love? Like what?
Depends on what type of love you are. You talking about romantic love? Are you talking about other types of love? Like we call love a lot of things, but in reality, you can't say that the way you love your pet is the same as you love your mother, is the same as you
But
love your
it's not
partner.
something physical. It's not something that like. And I
It's
think
parts of your
someone's
brain,
soul,
yeah. It's parts
you
of your
can
brain.
measure that. I think that you could measure someone's soul, someone's personality.
How do you measure a soul?
I think the same way that you could measure love. If you're
In the brain, so physically. So a soul is not.
Sure.
So a soul is physical then.
Not necessarily, no. But I don't think
So
love is physical
if it's not
either.
physical, how do you
I don't
measure
think
it?
love is completely physical.
Say it again.
I
Love
don't
is
think
not
that love is
completely
physical.
Yeah, you can measure it in the brain.
There are physiological effects of it, but I don't think that it's physical.
So let me ask you this. Just hypothetical scenario. We have this technology that can replace brains, okay? And we also have this technology that can clone. So I'm gonna clone you, okay? Right now, both versions of you have the same memories, the same brain, okay? What happens is one of you falls in love with somebody. Then what I do is I take their brain, put it in yours, and put your brain in theirs. Do you think they would still be in love, or would you be in love now? Like which one? The one with the brain that has the love inside of it, or the one with the brain without it? If I switch brains between you and the clone, which one would feel love?
I don't know.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do, because you know how you can measure all this. By the way, it's very easily to tell all of this because during operations, when, for example, when you do medical procedures, we know exactly which triggers to not feel pain. We know exactly which triggers to not feel anything that's happening within you. We know exactly if you get certain emotions afterwards, why that's happening. We know a lot of stuff. We still have a lot to learn. Don't get me wrong, but we still know a lot, and a lot of what is coming more and more is that everything is just physical reactions in our brain. So it's just chemical reactions in our brain. But either way, if you claim that a human has a soul and you claim you can measure it, then I fail to see why you can't measure the same thing on a dog.
It's just different.
How?
Because one is a human and one is a dog.
And what's the difference?
The way that we value.
But that's not the difference between them, right? I'm asking you what's the difference between these two individuals. Not how you see them. I'm asking what difference is there between them that would justify killing one but not the other.
I mean,
I can give you an example. For example, there's differences between you and me, right? Like you have long hair, I have short hair. You're a woman, I'm a man. I don't know, maybe a lot of other biological differences also between us. But I wouldn't say any of these differences justify killing one or the other. There's definitely differences. There's definitely differences between me and a dog, but I wouldn't say any of the differences justify killing one or the other.
Society plays a large role in it. Like society itself is something that's human. Dogs don't have the concept of society.
Yeah, they do. Dogs have societies, yeah. A lot of animals have societies.
Not
In fact,
the
cows
same.
have societies.
Not the same.
Yeah.
The same?
What do you mean by the same?
It's not the same.
mean not
there's
the same
close
complexity?
familial structures, yes.
Well, if we take
And
intellectually
then-
challenged human beings and create a society out of them, they would have the same complexity of societies that animals did.
But that's not what reality is. Intellectually challenged individuals are part of our society. And if there was like
So
a
if everyone
scenario
in the
where you
world
would
would
just-
become intellectually challenged, then our society would become monumentally more simpler, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so then what would be the difference between them and a dog that would justify killing them?
This is a completely like abstract.
So let me explain why I'm saying all this, because I see you're very bogged down. First of all, you're committing this. There's a logical fallacy called the is-ought fallacy. I understand how the world is. What I'm talking about is how the world ought to be, right? Like you can say, yeah, the world is this way, but whenever we're talking about individuals who don't have rights in a society and we're trying to give them rights, if we constantly focus on what is, we cannot get to the what ought to be. For instance, when women didn't have rights, we could have easily said, well, this is just how it is. What do you mean women don't have rights? Well, what do you mean this is how it is? They don't deserve the right to vote. What do you mean this is how it is? Women have always been this way. And you could have always just focused on
Are
what
you
is
comparing
instead of
women to
focusing the ought.
animals?
No, first of all, we are all animals, first of all. And second of all, I'm comparing the injustice that was happening to women with the injustices that's happening to animals, yes.
I don't think that those are necessarily comparable.
No, of course, because what happens to animals is monumentally worse than what was happening to women.
Okay.
Yeah, because we animals, we bring them into existence to use them and kill them. With women, we didn't bring them into existence to use them. They were treated like objects. They did have their rights taken away from them, but at least they got to have some choice in the matter. Animals have absolutely no choice in the matter. So the injustice is, in fact, worse towards an individual like that. But you know what? I don't like to classify injustices. That's my opinion. I'll say it this way. But injustice, if injustice happens to you, it's the worst thing that happened because it's happening to you. If the injustice happening to somebody else, it's the worst thing that's happening to them because it's that injustice is happening to them. Okay? So injustices are very hard to compare. But when you're the victim of injustice, it's the worst thing that happens to you. So let's just put it this way. Injustices are comparable, but if it's happening to you, it's the worst thing. So it's the same way. When we do an injustice towards a woman, when we do an injustice towards an animal, to that individual that's suffering from that injustice is just as bad.
Do you eat meat?
No. No, because I
Never
respect
have.
animals. I used to, yeah.
What made you stop?
Well, the fact that I couldn't justify doing it. Like, I thought it was wrong.
And do you view other people who eat meat as morally wrong individuals?
I don't think there's such a thing as morally wrong individual. What's a
Or
morally
they're
wrong
making a
individual?
morally wrong choice?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's very wrong, yeah.
But would you not be friends with someone because they eat meat? Or
I don't see how that's relevant. I would not make,
Because-
like, that's a pretty more complex situation, but I don't see why that's relevant to the situation right now.
are you trying to, what is your objective?
To fight for animal rights.
Okay.
I'm trying to liberate animals because they are slaves. And I'm trying to understand what makes you think that it's okay to enslave up to 100 animals per year. Because that's what you're doing right now. 100 animals per year are enslaved and exploited for you. And I understand it might seem on your side, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of ego happening, maybe there's a little bit of something else happening, but at the end of the day, you have choices. They don't. And you can always say, well, it's difficult for me. No, it's not. You look at the menu and you say, I want this option. You go to a supermarket and say, I want this option. The minute you choose the option that's an animal product, an innocent animal gets exploited, abused, slaughtered, sexually abused also, by the way.
I agree that there are things that should be done to make it more ethical, and that the current institutions for that are not good.
It just sounds like a word salad. What does that mean?
There are ways to
Slaughter an animal when there's no need for it. Explain.
not that there's no need, but there's a way to do it as ethically as possible.
There's a dog in front of us right now. You have tell me, how would you kill the dog,
If
even
I
though there's
had
no
to,
need
I
for
would
it?
try and
No,
make
again,
s-
there's no necessity for it. What would be a good way to kill the dog?
as quickly and painlessly as possible.
Even though you don't need to, you could always choose not to. You think it's still a good way to kill the dog would be for you to choose to kill them painlessly, even though there's no necessity for you to do so.
Homo sapiens, back to this, Homo sapiens 10,000 years ago still ate meat.
Yeah, they had no other choices. We do.
But okay, for any other animal though that eats meat,
They don't have any other choices. We do.
we could make other choices for them.
It's fairly simple. You see, the problem, like choice, is very important when it comes to.
Do you
It's
think
very
that,
important
do you
when it
think
comes to
that dogs
morality.
should also eat vegan then?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have studies showing that dogs who are on a plant-based diet that is nutritionally adequate. That means given the nutritionally adequate plant-based diet, for example, there's specially formulated food for them, actually outlive the dogs that are not given that way. So if you actually care about your pet animal, you should probably give them the best diet out there, which is a plant-based diet for them, yes.
What if you can afford a plant-based diet?
You mean like for your dog or for yourself?
Either.
Well, I would say, first of all, it's cheaper to be on plant-based for humans. It's like 30% cheaper. And for dogs, I don't know. If you can't, then yeah, you should feed them whatever. But again, like it's a matter of choice, right? At the end of the day, you have the choice, and it is cheaper.
I don't know enough about that to speak on that, but I am skeptical.
Sure, but if you were to find out that you can thrive on a plant-based diet, that means you can be as healthy as possible. Would you then stop exploiting and killing innocent animals?
I think there are systematic things that need to be changed in order for
That to be possible.
yes.
Like what?
I mean, convenience is a large factor.
So, do you think it's morally justified to kill an innocent animal for your convenience, even though you have another option?
I think that there are a lot of things that aren't necessarily morally justified, but that people are still going to choose to
No,
do.
you're going to do it. I don't do it. There's millions of people who don't do it. You choose to do it. Don't, like, we do this thing where we try to blur the lines by saying everyone else is doing it, therefore it's okay. It's not. That's how we justified a lot of oppression throughout years. Everyone else is part of it, might as well be part of it also. No, if you stop, 100 animals per year will no longer be exploited, abused, and slaughtered. There's 100 animals, their life is in your hands with your choices. No matter what everyone else on this planet does, you are responsible for their deaths. You are responsible for their exploitation. So you can say, well, everyone else is doing it around me, sure, but if you stopped, these animals wouldn't be killed. If they stopped these animals, other animals wouldn't be killed. But you specifically have a footprint of about 100 animals per year. And their life is in your hand, and you say, well, convenience. It's convenient for me to kill you. 100 each animals, each year, year over year over year. How's that fair?
Well, it's not fair to make it seem like she's going up to the animal and chopping it or
What's
whatever.
the difference if I pay somebody to kill them or if I kill them myself?
Because one is more convenient than the other. Going to the grocery store or something is not the same as her.
It is worse to
going
pay
the-
somebody to do it, exactly. Because when you pay somebody to do it, not only that person also suffers from it, because the people who are working in slaughterhouses suffer from PTSD, and they're workers who are coming from marginalized communities. They suffer from PTSD. They end up doing domestic violence in their house because they get so desensitized to seeing blood and violence all the time. Their turnover is a year, so they can only survive 1 year, and afterwards they have to be constant medication throughout their life. In fact, I know somebody who worked in that environment and is in that situation. So I don't get it. Like, no, humans are not better off. Environmentally, it's worse. Everyone loses. It's just you're trying to say like, oh, it's convenience or taste. But are you really the type of person who says it's okay to kill innocent animals, baby animals, mind you, for my taste and convenience?
We have to go because we have a tour, but good luck.
Okay. I hope you reconsider and stop being, violent towards animals. I gotta change the battery. Unreal. Oof. Yeah. Insane, huh? Truth is scary, but it is true, huh? Truth is scary, but it is true. That's the sad reality, isn't it? And I do like how I really like how it came in the moment. You look pale. I think it's the sunscreen, but if I am pale, I'm the same as I've always been. So thank you for that. I do like this approach of saying that, there's 100 animals out there whose footprint is solely related to your choices, because that's the truth and that's a good way to see it, right? No matter what everyone else does around you, 100 animals out there are specifically killed and for you. Can we eat Trump? I'm not a proponent of violence, but I don't think Trump is an innocent person also, so yeah. The lads earlier were much more open-minded. Indeed. Have a call session? I will at some point. You can't be on camera. You're too young. Talk to a tiger about their choices. Well, they don't have choices. That's the whole thing about it. Choice matters. Much love, Warrior. Appreciate it. Yeah. We're gonna keep trying. You guys wanna have a conversation? Wanna have a conversation? Still thinking. We'll see. They always take a while until they decide.
What is this?
I'm just asking you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
Okay.
How old are you?
21.
Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Come here. You wanna come here so that you're in view? What's your name?
Ronja.
Tony, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
Sweden.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Nice. What brings you to Amsterdam?
Just here with my two friends. So we're here for the weekend. Just visiting. This is the first time. Yeah, see the spring.
Love it. I want to ask you, because I'm an animal rights activist. I'm here to fight for the rights of animals.
Okay.
How do you feel about animals?
I love animals.
You love animals?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to predict the future.
Okay.
And in 10 minutes, you're going to justify animal abuse.
Justify animal abuse.
Yeah, you're going to say animal abuse is okay.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to abuse animals?
No, of course not.
What would you say abuse of an animal is?
Abuse, like we, for example, went to the pet store.
Yeah.
And they had like rabbits and like rats and hamsters in these small cages,
Yeah.
so they can't move. So, for example, that is animal abuse
Yeah.
because they can't move in that small space.
Yeah, I would say so. So would you say that, like, what if I emotionally harm them? If I yell at an animal, is that abuse?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so too. That's like, how do you say, like their physical and like mental abuse.
If I hit them, is that abuse?
Yes.
If I kill them, is that abuse?
Yes.
Okay. What if I kill them fast?
No, that's still abuse.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to then eat animals?
Well, no, not really, but like if you say like it's if killing animal means abuse, then
Yeah.
no, it's not. Okay, then it's also abuse.
Yeah.
You can say. But
Yeah. Do you think we need to kill animals to eat them, or to even use animals to eat them for whatever else, like for dairy, for milk, for cheese, for eggs?
if I think we need to,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a hard question. Like I'm not a vegetarian. Like
Yeah.
I eat dairy and like everything, drink milk. So it's hard. Like
You were
no,
always taught
no.
to do it, right?
Sorry.
You were taught to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think so. Like from when you're a kid. So I think like if you're taught not to do it, then maybe, yeah, then I wouldn't like feel that need maybe.
What if we were to find out that you don't actually need it? Like there's no actual bodily necessity or biological necessity. We can get all our nutrients, we can enjoy our food without doing this to animals. Like we can be plant-based.
Yeah. Then, but I have tried to like do it, but then it's just like it's so like natural and normal for me
Yeah.
to, for example, like eat meat. So then it's hard to quit.
But would you say that there is some form of abuse happening behind these animal products?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
for
it's
inst-
killing animals and it's probably like hurting animals, of course. Yes.
yeah, like for example for milk, right?
Yeah.
Why do cows produce milk?
Why?
Thank you for asking. For their babies. It's insane.
Okay, yeah.
They're like any other mammal, right?
Yeah.
They're like us. They only make milk after they had a baby.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you think that they get pregnant when they want, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
No, probably. Yeah, probably the second choice. Yeah.
Mhm. Farmers impregnate them. Do you
Yeah.
think that's fair?
No, that's like against like they have like free will. So then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we don't care. We say we forcefully impregnate you. Then when the babies are born, we take them away from their mothers. Do you
Yeah.
know why we do that?
I don't know. To maybe control like something.
The milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the baby
Yeah,
stays
okay,
with
yeah.
the mother, they would drink the
Exactly.
milk. So we want to control that.
Yeah.
right? If the baby is born male, they don't produce milk. So
No.
what do you think happens to them?
If they don't produce.
Yeah, if they're male, so they don't produce milk.
Yeah. Well, they get killed probably
Yeah.
because we don't like need them.
Yeah, that's where veal comes from.
Yeah.
And if the baby is born female, just like their mothers, repeated impregnation, used for their milk,
Yeah.
and they get killed at the age of 6. Do you know why? Because cows can live 24 years, so that means a
Yeah.
very small fraction
Yeah.
of their
Exactly.
lifespan.
Yeah.
Do you know why they kill them that early?
I don't know because there are like too many, I guess, and it's just not enough
Well, they can't.
space, or maybe I don't know. No.
They either can't get them pregnant, or
Yeah.
they'll make production declines.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's just
Okay.
like standard, and
Yeah.
especially in bigger farms, they say at the age of 6 we kill them.
Yeah.
And sometimes the standards they mix and match, so they try to impregnate and then they kill them.
Yeah.
And they end up in the slaughterhouse with a baby inside, which is so weird because then the slaughterhouse workers have to kill the mother and then they have to kill the baby also. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's really bad. How do you feel learning about this, like knowing that it's not necessary?
No, well, I think like this is something that you like already know, but then you're just not really like, how do you say, like conscious about it. Like
Yeah.
for example, when I like eat meat or like when I'm at a restaurant, like I don't think about the process behind it and okay, what has like happened to
Yeah.
lead up to this, because it's so like this is just normal for me. Like yeah, we eat meat, like that's what we need, like to.
Would you say it's fair to do this to them?
No.
No, it's not fair. Well, I like it. See, I predicted the future wrongfully. You actually did not start justifying it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. But what do you want to do going forward? And I want to ask you because, I'll provide you with resources to help you out with that. And I can understand it may be difficult to
Your
give
goal
this
is to like.
be vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is just like, I don't know. Like it's hard for me, also to just. Like I also know because I tried to be like vegetarian like before, and I know like many, wants to like prevent this from happening, but then it's just like okay, it's only like one person, and then of course like it can make a difference, but how like big of a difference can
100
I
animals
make?
per year.
Yeah.
That's not nothing, right? Like imagine this way: 100 animals per year
Yeah.
are brought into existence and killed for you, specifically.
Yeah.
So that means it doesn't matter what the number is worldwide, because
Yeah.
there's like trillions of animals that we kill each
Yeah.
year.
But you don't think
100
it
are
will
specifically
continue?
for you.
Like if, for example, if if we buy less, won't it like just like continue
Yeah, but less, 100 less.
Yeah, maybe.
100 less each year.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we can say, okay, well, that's still a big number, sure. But you know, 8 billion people is a big number. You're only one of them.
Yeah.
If somebody chooses to do something bad to you, it doesn't mean anything to the 8 billion people,
Yeah.
but it means a lot to you, right? And we should think in the same way about these animals because it
Exactly.
means everything to them.
Yeah.
It, like not putting a cow through this process where we repeatedly impregnate them and kill them,
Yeah,
which is
I know.
extremely cruel. is-
Yeah. Like I
It's a
don't
lot.
want to do it. Like of course, if
Yeah.
I get to choose, then this wouldn't.
But you have so many
be
alternatives
happening,
today.
so,
Why
yeah.
not give those a try?
Well, it's just like it has become like a habit, and it's like hard to just like break a habit
get
with
that.
like everything around you. But yeah, of course, like this, you can start like thinking more about like my choices and yeah.
Thinking and acting also. Let
Yeah,
me give you a card because
exactly.
I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give you a card.
Yeah.
There's a thing here called the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Yeah.
It's a really good speech. Kind of teaches you about honey, about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Can you give that a watch just to learn about
Yeah.
what it is? And it's not gruesome. Like the gruesome one is the minion. If you want to watch
Yeah.
exactly what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
But just to see what it is that you're paying for.
Yeah.
And then you make choices on your own. Challenge
Exactly.
22. They hook you up with a dietitian. They send you recipes every day, and they
Yeah.
help you go vegan for free. So whatever, it's called Challenge 22 because it takes 22 days to change a habit.
Yeah.
So that just means sounds kind of like what you need.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you promise me you'll watch that video? That's all I
Yeah.
want.
I promise.
Okay. Let me give you also a map of Amsterdam with vegan restaurants, and you, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know, you're more open-minded than a lot of people that I speak to, and it's nice to
Thank
see.
you.
You have a lot of nice vegan restaurants here.
Yeah?
I recommend vegan sushi bar.
Okay.
And,
Perfect.
well, every restaurant has like some form of a vegan option, but
Yeah?
these are only vegan and stuff. so-
Okay. Well, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice
have
to
a
meet
good day.
you. You
Same.
too.
You too.
Bye.
Cheers. You also have my YouTube channel there if you want to watch yourself.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one. She was nice. Nice one, yeah. Hey, Mr. Folekian. Love it, Mr. Folekian. Hey, Zeus, you're here. A lot of cool people here. Is that fair? Fairness is a human concept. It doesn't apply to animals. Who said that fairness doesn't apply to animals? Of course it does. We have, in fact, a lot of the times we say it's not fair. And first of all, fairness is not a human concept. If you had two dogs in front of you right now and you give treats to one, the other one will complain because it's not fair that only one got treats. They definitely understand the concept of fairness. What are you talking about? Fairness is not inherently human. No. If you're human and consider yourself an animal, something wrong. Well, it's not that if I'm human and consider myself an animal, I am an animal. I'm a mammal, I'm an ape, I'm a human. All these three things are not mutually exclusive and they're all true at the same time. I don't know how you not done. I don't know how some of you failed basic biology, but yes, humans are animals. That's just jealousy, not fairness? No, it's fairness. In fact, you can see that there are experiments where they fight for the treat and they still find it fair. So when they win the treat, when they actually win the little contest and they win the treat, they find it fair. So it is about fairness. It's not just about greed or whatever you call it. Thank you, Mr. Marcos. Thank you for being here. The Soviets, Yankees, and Aussies felt that plants feel pain. No, they don't. And if you think that they do, please drop the study in there, and I'll look at it. But in fact, they don't, because we have empirical evidence showing that they don't, and that they cannot. So there you go. Does the winner share out of fairness? Sometimes they do, yeah. I've seen animals share, yeah. But you know, if the snack is very small, they're not going to be able to share it. But yeah, sometimes they do. Someone gifted 20 subs? Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even see that. Thank you so much. Respect Animals sent 20 gift memberships. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Respect Animals. W's, only huge W's in the chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And drop a study that says we are herbivorous. We are not herbivorous. What do you mean? We are omnivores. Yeah. Plants are sentient. Groot gave me a wink at Disneyland. Groot. Oh ja. Groot. Groot. Dat betekent big in Nederlands. Groot. I'm finding it hard to cut out cheese, but I'm trying, says Sally Fourway. Oh, Sally, I get what you mean. Yeah. Sometimes cheese, people have a difficulty with cheese, especially if you're a big cheese eater. There are plant-based cheeses, and look into making cheese out of cashew. That's really, really nice. Hi there. You want to have a conversation? Do you want to have a conversation with me?
Oui, en français.
In English, please.
All right.
Je ne parle pas français.
Moi aussi, petit peu. Vous êtes hollandais?
Nee, nou, wacht. Je suis
Voilà.
van Roumanie. Van Roumanie.
Qu'est-ce que c'est ça?
J'habite à Amsterdam, maar nee, je suis van Roumanie.
Spreek je ook Nederlands?
Een beetje,
Ja.
meer Engels though.
Well, let's have a talk in English.
Yeah.
Because we have a social experiment.
Sure. Are you okay being live on YouTube?
I beg your pardon?
Are you okay to be live on YouTube? Because I am live on YouTube.
Why not?
Okay.
It
Appreciate
would be
you.
very nice if you could help me with a cigarette.
I do not smoke though.
No. I don't
You wanna
want
come
to
here so that
smoke.
you're in view?
I don't want you to smoke, I just want a cigarette. Okay.
What's your
let's do
name?
it. René.
Renee, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you, Renee.
What's your name?
Chip.
Chip.
Yeah. Renee, I'm an animal rights activist. I'm here to fight for animals.
Yeah.
How do you feel about animals?
I like animals.
Yeah. Given the situation that we don't need to consume animals, do you think it's fair that we choose to consume animals?
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah, I like that you're saying that from the beginning. I wasn't expecting that. Do you consume animals?
Pardon?
Do you consume animals?
Yes, sometimes I do, but for many years I did not. But since I'm homeless, once in a while do, yeah, because they serve us and this food in the houses for the homeless people where you can walk in during the day. So once in a while I do eat.
Do you have a choice even in those situations?
Yeah, of course, you don't have they don't press you to eat the meat. But we just had winter time and.
No, but I mean, like, do they provide you with a plant-based option, or do they just give you like?
Not really a plant-based option, but they don't press you to eat the meat. You can just eat the potatoes and the vegetables.
But that doesn't really do anything, does it? Because they
Well,
still
better than nothing, of course.
Don't they put the meat on your plate? Don't they put the meat on your plate?
They bring plates where the meat is on. Indeed, to bring it with.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean, because I don't think like the problem is the actual taking the meat and putting it in your mouth, right? The problem is demanding the meat, right? So the question is, are you increasing demand by choice, right? That's the question. So that means, for example, are you in a position where you can choose to eat something else? If that yes, then you should. If you're not, then you are in that position, you know. So
I think if you're really, how do you call that, strict with having mercy for the animals, you say, no, I eat the food, but you keep the meat because it's like potatoes, vegetables, and a piece of meat.
Ah.
So you can say, I don't want to meat.
Oh, so you could say that.
Of course.
So why not
they
say
don't
that then?
Well, I just told you it was winter time and you need some calories, and I'm below my weight level I should have with all these things together.
In that situation, don't they give you different types of calories?
No, I'm not so much calorie. I'm just happy with some potatoes, vegetables, and this sauce made from butter.
Well, butter is also bad, right?
Huh?
Butter is also bad.
I think.
For the animals, I mean.
Yeah, but they don't have to be killed for butter.
Oh, they do.
For butter?
They don't have to, but they are, yeah. So for example, for milk,
Yeah.
Cows produce milk if they're pregnant, right? If they had a baby.
Yeah.
So the babies that don't produce milk, the males, they're killed.
Yeah.
And the cows, when their milk production declines, they're also killed.
The last thing, say it again, please.
The cows, when their milk production declines,
Yeah.
they get killed also.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all these animals also get killed.
yeah. But not only for the meat. Well, yeah, you're
For
right.
all the products, yeah.
Well, I nearly don't eat meat actually, but once in a while when I'm very cold and I'm too thin, I did do that, especially in winter time, and sort of bad quality meat either. Anyway, some other
But
stuff.
you're in a different position, right?
Right.
I get what you mean. Let me see if I have a protein bar. I'll give you a protein bar. You know, this is what I'm here to speak for, about for animals. But let me see if I have a protein bar.
Yeah, it looks like you have.
I have two actually. I'll give you two. And they're both the same though, and they're both vegan, so they're quite nice.
They're both vegan.
Yeah.
Nice. And you buy these things or they give to you?
Say it again.
You buy these or they give it to you?
Oh no, I buy them, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. I have plenty of them at home, so no worries.
Nice.
I appreciate you, man. I thank you for having this conversation with me. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna continue holding the sign and have some more conversations. But I appreciate you for at least trying it and doing your best.
Yeah, there's a little conversation.
It might be a little bit melted in the back.
No worry,
right?
I'm used to that.
You're used to that.
I'm sleeping in a tent outside the city.
Oh, that's
Beautiful
tired.
place, yeah. I could show you some pictures, but that's a lot of searching on my phone. No worry, this is good. And
It's
if
definitely tasty.
If I eat this, I become just as healthy as you are now?
Sure. Yeah.
All the best, mate.
See you. Have a good one. And good luck, man.
You too, man.
Oh, good luck. Have a good one. Yeah, he was homeless. Yeah, he was homeless. It's difficult. Let me arrange the sign. It's difficult when the people are homeless to say anything. But just look at that. Look at the. Because he blew his nose like that, I also applied some disinfectant on my hands because I don't want to get sick, and I don't know if he's sick or not. But look at the difference in attitude from people, right? Look at the difference in attitude from people. Sensi, oh my God, 16 months, stop breeding animals, 100%. Look at the difference in people where these two girls were in a privileged position they could have chosen easily. And they were like, me, convenience, me. And this guy who didn't even have options said he was doing his best. Like literally, man, what the fuck? We live in a world where time and time again I'm put into this position where I see the people who have privilege are the ones who complain about how difficult it is, and the people who don't have privilege are the ones who tried their best. It's kind of sad. He has more morals than all the others. Yeah, exactly. 16 months has gone by so quickly. Well, appreciate you, Sensi, for the support. I appreciate it. It's sad to see that some people end up homeless like that. He spoke French, he spoke some Dutch, and he spoke English. He was well spoken also. Yeah, it saddens me when I see this happening in society. It's heartbreaking, really, because we shouldn't have this happening. We shouldn't have a society where there's empty buildings and then people sleeping in tents. That's fucked up. You are privileged as well, I know. And I use my privilege to fight for animal rights. So yes, I know I'm privileged, and I use all my privilege to fight for the rights of others. Well, I don't know of all of it, but most of it for sure. That's why I asked about countries in the global south that can't house the agricultural practices due to soil destruction and food insecurity. Well, that's not true, is it? Because in a lot of countries in the south, as you call it, countries in the south, I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean countries in Africa or whatever? It depends on the country by country basis. I can't form a generalized statement on country by country basis. But if you have land to grow animals, then you have land to grow vegetables, because animals need to eat a lot. And a lot of the times, in fact, what happens is, I think, what was it? Ghana. I think Ghana was one of the countries where this happens more than in any other place, where they essentially grow vegetables, and the government sells the vegetables, they sell everything that they grow to animal agriculture in Europe. So instead of actually feeding the people, they feed the animals. So animal agriculture is detrimental even to the countries in that scenario, in that area. So that's what happens. A lot of times the poor countries are the ones suffering because of animal agriculture. That's the thing. That's the thing, isn't it? So, you know, you may come in here and spam your, I don't know, bacon or whatever you think you're spamming and think that that's a clever argument. It's not. All you're doing is just showing your ignorance or, you know, your lack of intelligence in the matter. But that's okay. I can't expect anyone to, you know, to behave with at least the basic regards towards an injustice that it is that they're committing. Yeah, would Jesus approve what's going on inside a slaughterhouse? No, they would not. In fact, you know, when Jesus turned the table in the temple, he had a lot to say also about animal slaughter in temples. That's why animals are no longer slaughtered in temples, because at that time, animals were slaughtered in temples. So Jesus had a big problem with animals being slaughtered in temples. The land around the Alps, bro, stop it with that nonsense. Everyone in Europe, 100% of Europe can be vegan. 100% of Europe. If everyone in Europe would be vegan, this person that I met, the homeless guy who doesn't have option, would have options. Because you, when you have this privilege, you choose to use this privilege only to get more privilege and only to feel good about your choices to do whatever you want, instead of actually doing the right thing, which would benefit also others. It's kind of messed up. So you see, this guy was actually starving a lot of the times, and he was saying he was eating less because you guys put him in that situation, because you choose to consume animal products. If you choose to consume plant products, you increase the demand and he would have more options. But no, you want to choose, you know what, I'm going to choose to consume animal products because I have this privilege and I can do it, okay, because I want to. Yeah. It's just insane, man. It's just insane. Do you think all animals are equal? Well, all animals have equal intrinsic value, including humans. The intrinsic value is equal. All sentient beings have equal intrinsic value, because with you being sentient comes your willingness to live, your interest to live and to experience life. And that interest to experience life is equal amongst each other. For example, my life is everything to me, just as much as your life is everything to you, just as much as an animal's life is everything to them. So yeah, intrinsically our life matters equally to all of us. So yeah, that's what matters. To be honest, if everyone in vegan in Europe would be atheist. Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But it doesn't really follow, because there's religious and vegan people. There's plenty. I personally am an atheist, an agnostic atheist, but there's a lot of religious people also who are vegan. Follow up, does a cow have the same value as a mouse? I just told you, intrinsically they have the same value, yes, because they're sentient beings. I know where you're going already with the Karen. Karen, what's your name, Karen? I already know where that is going, but I'm gonna let you formulate it yourself. God will punish those who try to frustrate you. One day they will want mercy, and they will get what they gave. Nah, I wouldn't want anyone to suffer because of me. Not even these people who frustrate me. I don't think they should suffer. I don't think anyone deserves to suffer. Exactly. The key isn't if an animal has value to us. It has value to them. They have value to themselves, not it, because it's not an object. they have value to themselves. Exactly. A lot of embarrassing troll comments today. I believe it. I believe it. They're generally very embarrassing. They're generally quite unscientific and nonsensical. Oh, I'm gonna have my flesh. Ah, don't, how dare you? I got my little finger. I got my little finger. It's okay to cut the throat of an animal, but I got my little finger. Ugh, people.
For the shows. So before I start dancing, I'm gonna show you also some tricks with the hat. Let me show you one now.
Hey Chip, why do you use bug spray if you care about animals? Wow, congratulations. Congratulations, what's your name? Mike Palantonio 4693. Congratulations. You won the stupidest comment award. I'll pin it right now. Thank you. I'll pin it. Wait 1 second. Thank you. Everyone, this is the stupidest comment today. Let's see if anyone else can topple it.
Here we go. Get ready.
That's a new one.
In this
Yeah.
one, I'm gonna spin on my head. Crazy head spin. Windmill over there. But
So you don't care about
insects?
insects? Yes, I do.
Make
Yeah.
it a little bit more safe and organized.
But that's okay. I don't expect you to understand. It's fairly simple.
To the stage.
I have the right to defend my body. So if I use bug repellent on my body, I try to keep insects away from my body. That's what I'm doing, right?
Getting ready.
If I intentionally go the bug spray to kill bugs outside of my house or wherever else, that would be fucked up and it would be bad, just as I told the person who's killing ants. It's pretty simple. But you know, you should still stay there for the stupidest comment, because that was a pretty stupid comment. Nobel Prize for the comment. Yeah.
Gonna put the protection. Also gonna put some more music. A little bit more dynamic. Because this
Hope you're doing well. Vegan for a few weeks now, thanks for our last conversation a while ago. Look from poetry for punks. Really? Oh, poetry from punks. Wait, let me unpin this guy because I don't like seeing his pin. It was just a joke, kind of a bad joke, but you know, I make bad jokes also. So, David says that poetry for punks. Hope you're doing well. Vegan for a few weeks now, thanks to our last conversation. Hell yeah, man. W's for poetry for punks then. If that's the case, man. W's in the chat. Poetry for punks, amazing. Yeah.
I think you
It's not
left
mine,
it.
no. I don't have a Sony camera. No, it's somebody else's. Yeah, I saw that. Somebody dropped a Sony cap. I'm gonna put it back here just in case. But you know what? I'm not just gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it here just in case somebody finds it again. Comes back to trace their steps. Sometimes I do that.
I know it's not much, but you cannot do it.
Why don't insect lives matter? They are animals. Mike, I already explained it to you. Don't embarrass yourself some more. They do matter. You killing an innocent insect is just as bad as you killing an innocent animal. It's just there's a difference, right? If I would put animal repellent on me, I would be justified if I were to be going towards a place where animals may attack me, just like I would going to a place where insects attack me. So that would be justified. That's one reason to put insect repellent on you. If you're talking about bug spray, hey, you wanna have a conversation? Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Hi. We speak of you.
Hi.
Use this.
You speak English? Do you wanna have a conversation? Ah, okay. Then have a good one. Cheers. Just wanted to say hello, I guess.
And now my left side.
Settle down, Mike. Settle down.
To the line. Thank you, Damen. The VIP section is over there.
If you care about animals, why don't you talk about fungus and bacteria? Well, I care about sentient beings. I think I've been pretty explicit about that. And if not, I'll clarify. I care about sentient beings. Stardust, I hope I didn't come across as another troll. It just sounds like another excuse to me, and Stardust. I don't know if you're a troll or not. But you just come across as another excuse, because question is, are you in the position? It's pretty simple, right? Like, we don't have to overcomplicate it. Well, what about this situation? What about this situation? No. Simple. Are you in a situation where you can choose to not oppress an animal? yes, then you have the moral obligation to choose not to oppress the animal. That's it. It's simple. That's it. No need to overcomplicate it. No need to. What about in this other position? What about in this global south and stuff? No, none of that. Simple. Are you in a position where you can choose? You want to have a conversation? Even you can choose to not be violent towards an animal. Then you have an obligation to not be violent towards the animal. Simple.
It's okay. I haven't done much yet.
No need to overcomplicate it. Are we the only sentient beings with a choice? I think we're the only sentient beings with a choice that are aware of our choices, right? Like, and of the consequences of our choices. That's what I mean, right? Like, you have to be aware of the choice and the consequences of the choice. That's it. Well, I think a lot of people who are not vegan, in fact, are not aware of the consequences of their choices, are not aware of the injustice, just the sheer injustice that it is that they're committing. That's why when a lot of people live next to a slaughterhouse, they end up eating less animal products because they realize the injustice. That's why when people go to a slaughterhouse, hell, if people were to visit slaughterhouses, they would become vegan because they would be like, what the fuck's happening? Like, most people would become vegan. I kid you not. Just let slaughterhouses do tours, and most of you would already become vegan. Because you would be aware of the injustice that you're supporting. That's the whole thing about it, isn't it? Knowing you have choice and being aware of the injustice makes you morally obligated to choose, the one that's not injustice. Tours, yeah, imagine that, Linda. So bacteria and fungus are not... Wait, this is so funny. Okay, we're gonna be putting this comment now as the stupidest comment. Congratulations on backend. You won the award for the stupidest comment now. So bacteria and fungus are not sentient? Did you ask them? That's so funny. Yeah, because that's how we know things, simply by asking them. Well, wait a minute. This human being does not speak the same language as me. Hell, this human being is mute. Hell, this human being cannot communicate with me. How do I know that they're sentient? So funny. Well, we have evidence showing that animals are sentient. There's absolutely no reason to believe that bacteria or fungus are sentient because they don't have a brain. And sentience is an emerging property of brains. Essentially, with a complex enough brain structure, sentience tends to emerge. That's kind of what we observed.
If I make a mistake, I might fall and I can break my neck. But that's why it's called breakdancing. So I'm gonna do a quick test, only on one hand.
Chip, many of those commenters are probably bots deployed by the meat industry. I have no clue, but it's just so stupid that I have to pin some of those stupid comments. We're gonna be doing the pins of shame from now on. That's it. I'm gonna be nice to the people on the street, and I'm gonna be doing the pins of shame in the chat. You gotta stop saying stupid shit, man. You gotta think before you say stuff. That's enough. Enough is enough. We can't continue saying stupid shit. Again, you gotta start thinking. We live in a world where saying stupid shit gets us in trouble. So you gotta start thinking. Rick and Morty both eat meat. You're promoting them on your hat. Rick and Morty are imaginary characters. And in fact, there's a lot of episodes where they discuss the ethics of eating meat. In fact, there's one episode that specifically correlates with it. It's pretty on point. Sending them to the corner. Yeah, exactly. What do you do for work? I'm a software engineer. Just like your morality is imaginary. All morality is imaginary, bro. All of it. It's a concept that we invented. Morality doesn't exist if humans don't exist. Without minds, morality, it's mind dependent, isn't it? Morality is subjective. It's mind dependent. Is he bent about being pinned? Oh, I'm sorry, man, if you feel bad about being pinned on backhand. You know, stop saying stupid shit and then I will unpin you, you know? Let's see if somebody else, maybe you can make somebody say stupider shit than you and then we'll pin that person. But you say animals have morality. Well, I said mind dependent. I corrected myself. Yes, because animals also have a mind. And here's a good comment. We are not 100% sure if you need a brain to be sentient. No, that is true. AI may become sentient at some point. So we don't fundamentally know what the sentience is. Well, we do have a definition for it. We don't necessarily fully understand it. So you actually pinned a true message. No, but even if we don't know what sentience is, or we don't know how exactly it emerges, we know that it emerges in complex enough brain structures, and bacteria and fungus have none of that. So no, we can say with a pretty high degree of confidence that neither bacteria nor fungus are sentient. Was asking because I know I have a bias due to my familial background. Poor farmers in the Dominican Republic, and so need some further explanation. Well, I don't understand it. Just because you have a background in it doesn't mean you have to continue supporting the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of sentient beings. You know, in fact, if anybody who has the option to not choose to exploitation of sentient beings chooses to not exploit them, then the people who have no other option will start having options, right? It's as easy as that. That's the economy we live in. That's the world we live in today. Because you make these choices, you're also taking away choices from others. Doesn't even matter. Like, I see somebody saying that, no, there's plenty of options in the Dominican Republic. I'm sure there are. But I'm just saying, like, the reason why those people who... You want to have a conversation?
Sorry, I have a drink.
That's okay. Have a good one. Arrogant, boring narcissist. This isn't the mirror, bro. This isn't the mirror. You typed that in the chat. I think you meant to say that in the mirror. Wait. On backhand said something else. You say we don't know what is required for sentience, but then you state bacteria and fungus are not sentient. No, I said I don't know how it emerges. I know some parts of it that are required. For example, we know that a brain is required for sentience, a brain or a central nervous system, and bacteria and fungi have none of those. We know there's no emergence there, so it's pretty simple. Chip, Jesus loves you? No, he doesn't. Jesus is dead. And he doesn't love me because he's dead. And if Jesus ate animals and he had the option not to, then Jesus would be bad, would be doing something wrong. Our poop could be sentient as well. That's a pretty stupid comment. But it just sounds a little bit too stupid. If you don't know how it emerges, you can't say that they are not sentient. Yes, you can. Because we don't know how it happens, but we know of certain particular parts that are required for it. For example, memory is one. Experience is one. You want to have a conversation? Emotions. We know certain things are required. And again, bacteria and fungi have neither. And you know what? Just to close this whole bullshit street that you're going down, because you really want to go down that bullshit streak, that bacteria and fungi. Let's imagine, hypothetically speaking, we live in a world where bacteria and fungi would be sentient. It would still be morally preferable to be vegan because you would be killing less bacteria and less fungi. So can you just stop it with the nonsense? Can you just please, for once, I understand your ego is hurt. I feel like a small man. This guy made me feel bad. Why? Because I said something stupid, and instead of saying sorry, you're right, I said something stupid, I'm gonna double down on my stupidity. So instead of doing that, how about you learn something? You know, how about you being here to learn something actually? So yeah, you kill more bacteria and more fungus when you kill innocent animals. Because you know what? Whatever you think we are eating, the same shit gets fed to the animals. Only that it's monumentally more. Are you assuming God is a vegan? I know God is a vegan. What do you mean? You think God is pro-slavery? I don't think God is pro-slavery. I think God is against slavery. I mean, God might be pro-slavery. He doesn't explicitly say in the Bible to not enslave. In fact, he does give a lot of instructions on how to best enslave. So, God might be pro-slavery. I don't know what to tell you. You're right about that, huh?
There's 650 of them all attack. Wait, we lost people.
You promoting a meat eater on your hat is hypocrisy at its finest. Sure. Even if I'm promoting a meat eater, as you claim that I am, I don't think that I am, and I think it's a stupid thing to say. It wouldn't justify a form of oppression, would it? It doesn't justify a form of oppression. Does it? Because if you claim that it does, then that would be an appeal to hypocrisy, which is a logical fallacy. So even in a situation, like, even when I grant you guys the arguments, like, even when I grant you the arguments that you're making, you still are not in a place where you would be right. So why not just try and learn something? Like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, you're so desperate to be right about this when you can't. I'm not telling you that you can't be right because, oh, it's you or something. Just, there is no logical reason to not be vegan. There is none, zero logical reason. None. I will unpin you. I appreciate you saying you're sorry. Thank you. I will unpin you. Yeah, I respect it for taking it back. I appreciate it on backhand. I'm gonna stop making fun of you for that. I keep putting that cap there so that if somebody comes there, I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, dolphins should become vegan. I see somebody asking me that dolphins are aware. Yeah, dolphins should be vegan then. You guys want to have a conversation? 100%. I think all animals should be vegan. I don't know what we're talking about. Are you asking me? Yeah, all animals should be vegan. What are we talking about? It's easy. All of them should be vegan. Not all of them can be. That's the only difference, isn't there? It's pretty simple. And not all of them understand, and I have no way of even reaching them. But you see, even when I have a way of reaching the people who actually understand what I'm talking about, who should, by at least to some extent, understand the logic about it. If there's no need to exploit an innocent animal, why choose to exploit an innocent animal, right? Like, that's the simple logic. So even they have difficulty understanding this simple logic, and yet they claim higher, superior intelligence. How the hell would I even approach other animals when the higher intelligence ones can't even understand this basic simple concept and try to find the most dumbest justifications for it? Let's face it. Why do you think so many people aren't vegan? Ignorance? I think it's ignorance plays a key role in it. I'll give you that. I think there's ignorance. I think the reason why a lot more people are not vegan, the biggest thing is the disconnect. You're just disconnected from the process, aren't you? You go into a supermarket, you just see a product. You see meat, you see eggs, you see cheese. You don't really think about what the animals go through because you have your own life. You've learned how to do one recipe. You were taught your whole life, right? So it's this combination of I've always done it, and I just see products there with disconnect. I don't know if you want to call that ignorance. It is kind of ignorance, right? The situation. I don't blame the people that much. I blame them when I'm like clearly showing them, when I clearly having conversations. Like the people who I speak to on the street, when they acknowledge that what they're doing is bad, I'm okay with them, And when I try to tell them, hey, well, at least try to change something, I'm okay with them, right? I shook the hands of the guys. I'm trying to. You guys want to have a conversation? I'm trying to be more lenient to people, but because I really want nobody to stop exploiting them. From their perspective of the animals, it's really bad. And I can understand some points of views, like of some people, right? Like, for instance, why I say it requires a little bit of ignorance. For instance, my sister, she kind of knows what's going on, but, she works hard. She wakes up at 6 a.m. and comes back home at 9 p.m. She lives in the U.S. And, I can't blame her for her not trying to change because her kids don't want to change. Her husband doesn't want to change. And she herself, I don't even know how much choices she's making in everything she's doing, right? No, you didn't drop that. That belonged to somebody else. So it's difficult, I can understand the difficulty that some people have. But even in that difficulty, I still think you should admit that what you're doing is wrong and try to change. Will change be easy? Maybe, maybe to some it's easier than for others. Not maybe, that's definite, right? But I still think you should try to change, because if you're never going to do it, if you're never going to at least approach change in a way, it's always going to continue happening. The oppression is always going to continue happening, and you're always going to be put in this perspective, in this position where you're an oppressor. And if you're there by choice, if you're there by ignorance or whatever, it's still bad. It's just as bad for the innocent animals. Yeah. So everyone should change, except your sister? No, my sister should change also. What do you mean? Of course my sister should change. In fact, you know what? The last time I was there, my sister did say she'll change. Everyone should change. Everyone should change. My sister, my mother, my father, all of them should change. It's just that I cannot have conversations with some people, can I? And if you don't understand why, well, I'm not going to go into that. But it's difficult to have conversations with close ones about it. Let's just put it this way. But everyone should change, yes. 100%. Every single person on this planet should not oppress animals. Milk, settle down, please, okay? I'm getting bored with this whole narrative of my hat. If you have a problem with my hat, what the hell is that? I can wear a cool hat, okay? I don't think anybody who sees Rick and Morty thinks, oh, abusing animals all of a sudden. So stop it with that nonsense. You just seem to be pissed that I have this cool hat. So if you're going to be using caps, I am going to time you out, okay? So please don't use caps. I appreciate you. You can call me whatever you want. You can be upset about everything, but don't use caps, please, okay? Appreciate you. Thank you. Run out of counterpoints and now it's hats, though. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's focus on having a conversation with somebody. Maybe we get somebody to... Why is everyone triggered over caps? I just don't like caps in my chat. That's like yelling, isn't it? That's the... Like you can try to use them once to make a point, right? Like maybe at the end of a sentence or something, I don't know, because you're essentially yelling, right? But how you write things matter. Punctuation matters. Letters matter. You can't just, you know what I mean? Dandelion gum, funny. No, it's just big letters. Where it's big letters to signify something. That's what I'm saying. How are you doing, Fink? Thank you for trying to bring light to the injustice of animals. Very proud of being vegan. Sandra, that's amazing. Thank you for being here. And yeah, you should be proud. That's a good thing to do. Should carnivore animals be eradicated? No, they should be vegan. Hi.
Nederlands or English?
English, please.
Yeah. Just curious, what are you doing here?
Just trying to have conversations with people on the street
Okay.
about animals' rights.
Okay. Okay, is for like commercial purposes?
No.
Or no, just your own thing?
Smile, yeah.
Are people are coming up to you right now?
I had 4 people so far, but yeah, I've also been talking to the chat and not focusing on trying to get people. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, cool. Good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Have a good one. Thanks for asking.
No problem.
It's, the guy who's like a guard here who walks around. Some of them know me, some of them don't. It's always that way. Well, let's see. I'll try to focus and see if I can get some conversations with people because like it's been a while. You guys want to have a conversation? Dutch is the ugliest language? I don't think it's the ugliest language. What I don't like about Dutch is the topic inversion. That's what I always get wrong. So I know a lot more Dutch than I show because I understand a lot of it, but the topic inversion is what's, you know, the order of the words is what messes with my brain because it's not standard to me. Can you help that lady? She's not asking for help. I'm not gonna go help somebody if they're not asking for help. I don't think she needed help.
Well, I've already lost them.
What's your clothes, hat, and shoes made of? Synthetic or natural plant fibers? No, Stardust, you're good. Stardust, you're good. Just stick around. I don't know exactly what you meant by that. You know, we get a lot of trolls, as you see in here, Stardust, so it's hard for me to filter who's a troll and who isn't. If you're genuinely interested, ask questions away. I can answer them, but, you know, maybe formulate them in a way that I can actually answer them, right? Because if they're extremely complex, describing them might take a while. But I appreciate it. Stick around. That's why I do these streams, you know? I do it so that non-vegans get to join here and actually learn about this kind of stuff. And, you know. Yeah, David just dropped Challenge 22. Challenge 22 is a place where you just put your name and your email, and they hook you up with a dietitian. They send you recipes every day, and they help you go vegan. Chip, that just guy is tough competition. Yeah, he's on the other side, huh? He's tough competition. He's gonna attract all the attention. You know what? We're doing our best. We're doing our best. We're trying to sit here and have conversations. We'll do our best. If the jazz guy takes all our guys, you know, it is what it is. Sax? Maybe that's a saxophone, yeah. I think it is a saxophone. Play that George Michael one. Where that music came from, there's a street performer right here. I don't know, bro. I wouldn't use a compassionate God to justify violence. Seems like we have a person who's doing that. It's a Belgian invention? Sax? Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. Intelligent people don't call themselves intelligent. You wanna have a conversation? Why not? Why wouldn't an intelligent person call themselves intelligent? You know that the Dunning-Kruger effect is like this, right? It's really high at the beginning when you essentially have no knowledge, but then it drops, right? So actually people who are after a certain level of intelligence, they kind of are aware of where they are. And that's kind of where I am. I know I'm not like the most intelligent or something. There's a lot of things I'm probably stupid about. But I also know I'm not stupid. Come on. I have a pretty high IQ and I'm also pretty smart about stuff from time to time. It's not like it's my doing, right? I mean, sure I did some work. Just have an inclination towards that, I guess. I don't know. Every intelligent person thinks they're an idiot. No, that's not true. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look up the Dunning-Kruger effect and look up how the Dunning-Kruger effect affects intelligence, because the more intelligent you are, the less Dunning-Kruger there is. And I don't just mean that. Also the confidence, like the confidence regains. So you're kind of aware of how intelligent you are, the more intelligent you are. I think that's actually a very good way to describe it. You're very aware of how intelligent you are, the more intelligent you are, right? In other words, you on the outside may not know who's intelligent, who isn't, right? Because somebody could claim they're intelligent and they could be stupid and have the Dunning-Kruger effect tell them that think that they're intelligent and thus they say they're intelligent, or they could actually be intelligent and actually be intelligent, right? They could say that they're intelligent. So you from the outside have no actual way of knowing it, unless of course you run a test or something. Okay. Almost nobody stopped so far. Huh? It's a tough day. It's called self-awareness. You lack it. Well, I don't lack it, as I told you. I am intelligent. I don't lack self-awareness. God sees you when I'm pooping. Why is God looking at me when I'm pooping? David Bork, why is God looking at me when I'm pooping? Might get somebody.
Am I on camera though?
Yeah, I am on camera.
Talk to you if I'm on camera.
You can be off camera if you want.
Yeah, I could do off camera though.
Yeah.
That's so not intolerant.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Melly.
Melly?
Yes.
I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. Give me a second. You are off camera, but I'm just going to record myself anyway. Where are you from, Melly?
I'm from Vienna, like from Austria.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful city.
It
do you live
is.
here in Amsterdam or do you live there?
No, I'm just visiting.
Oh, nice. I'm an animal rights activist. I'm here to speak up for animals.
Okay.
How do you feel about animals?
How do I feel about animals? That's a really big question, though.
Yeah.
What do you mean in specific? How do I feel about the wildlife?
It's a good question you're asking over here. Let me put it this way. Do you think we as humans should have the right to oppress animals?
Of course not. That's
No,
a living being.
Yeah. So do you think we have the obligation to not be oppressive towards them?
Of course we do have. I mean, we have a higher cognitive function, so we should watch out for those living beings around us who are not in the position that we are.
Yeah, so if we have power or privilege, we should use our power or privilege
Of course.
to protect them rather than oppress them.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
I mean, I agree with you, but I think that the bare minimum would be to at least not oppress them, right?
Yeah, of course. That was a non-negotiable.
Yeah, because we could protect them, but we can also not protect them and at least not oppress them, is my point, right? Do you think that when we choose to farm them for products we don't need, like food, like clothing, do you think we are oppressing them?
Yeah, of course we do. Unfortunately, we do. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. we
I
do.
mean, when you look at the human history, we always used animals, but I think if you look in the history, it was like necessary. But nowadays, there's no necessity for this point. We just do it out of comfort because we are, in the essence, we are also animals. And we are living in comfort because in German we say, der Mensch ist ein Gewohnheitstier. Like, we are people. No, humans are. How can I say it in English? But did you
Creatures
understand
of
it?
comfort.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Just like animals.
But do you think that we can justify oppressing them for comfort?
Of course not. No. It's
No.
an explanation, but not an
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah, I appreciate
These are
that.
two whole big different stories.
Yeah,
I can understand you, but still not approve what you do for a living.
So I want to ask you then, are you vegan?
I'm not vegan though. I'm vegetarian.
You're vegetarian?
Yes,
Do you
I
consume
am.
dairy products or eggs?
No, not really. So you can kind of call it vegan, but not really. Like I'm trying to be cautious.
Yeah.
Try to be aware. Sometimes it happens. I'm not proud of it, but it happens though.
What do you mean, like, it happens? What does that mean?
It happens eating a cake,
Yeah.
eating something that I was not supposed to eat. But on a daily life basis, I watch out for vegan products as for shoes and for like makeup, which is a big, huge thing in makeup industry.
That's great.
Skincare and all these stuff, these are vegan. But like on a eating basis, I try my best.
But do you make choices where animals are oppressed? Because, right, like, I want to understand, because obviously if you're in a situation where you accidentally buy something that you didn't know, I can't blame you for that. It happens
Yeah,
to everyone.
of course.
But if you actually make choices or readily choose to be ignorant towards, like you say, like if you get cake without actually even looking, that could be a sign of saying, well, I'm just choosing to be ignorant whether an animal was oppressed for that
Yeah,
cake or
it
not,
is.
right?
Yeah. So what's the question about?
So do you actually make choices that oppress animals or not?
No, I don't think so. Like,
You don't think so? So why don't you call yourself vegan then?
it doesn't feel right to call me this way.
You know something in there. What's going on?
There's nothing going on. Like I'm making my choices,
Yeah.
and yeah.
But
when
do you
it-
know, for example, why it's wrong for dairy cows, for milk, for eggs?
Yeah,
you
of
know what's
course I
happening,
know.
right?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a farm back at home,
Ah.
so I know what labor means. I know what all these things mean.
You know the forceful impregnation,
of
the
course.
taking away the babies and all
So,
that. Yeah.
I know, but I'm not calling myself a vegan because it stands like it has a cultural, it has a point of view that I'm not fully 100% in it because I'm not cautious enough. So I don't want to like
I get what you mean.
offend people who are really vegan by heart.
So why don't you become cautious enough?
I'm
'Cause-
trying my best. I'm just a girl.
Ah.
I'm just a
Well, I think
22-year-old
everyone-
girl trying to survive.
I appreciate that, but I think everyone's like,
Of
if you
course.
truly are trying your best, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you cannot actually ask anything more of anybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
But for example, if you say, because you said cake, right? I want to
Yeah.
hang on to that one. Like, if you say you're buying cake, do you think you should probably look at the ingredients to see if there's an animal product in
Yeah,
it?
of course I do.
And
I
if there is an
try.
animal product, what do you do?
If I do not have any other solution, I will buy it. But if I have another like not solution but an alternative for it, I would always choose the alternative.
But even if there's not another alternative, do you really need cake?
Yeah, I mean, in this specific kind of point, no. But I mean, like in family gatherings, if there's anything like special occasions, that's why I'm not calling myself
I see what you
vegan.
mean.
I'm not really like radical about it and like going full blown on it. I'm just a girl trying to survive, and if there's cake on a birthday party, then I will eat a cake on a birthday party.
I see what you mean. Do you? So the way you should think about it, I guess, is: are you generating demand?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if you are somewhere where you're consuming an animal product and it doesn't generate demand,
Yeah.
I don't think there's an issue, right? Say for
Yeah,
instance you find a dead animal on the street and you want to eat that dead animal. I don't think that creates demand for more animals
Yeah.
to be killed or to be used or to be exploited, right? If you're at a party, one could make the argument that if you wouldn't eat that piece, somebody else would, and
Yeah,
now they're
yeah,
demanding
yeah.
more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
So, I mean, you can get to make your choices what you want. I just okay, but you're already almost in line with your values. Like
Trying.
you're just like there, right there, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a little
and
bit
it's,
there.
it's still okay. I'm trying to figure it out. So
Yeah.
I still have more time.
Yeah. How about now when you're in Amsterdam? Have you had any difficulties? Any?
No, nothing. I
Nothing,
just
right?
had potatoes, fries.
Yeah, just potato. You've just been eating potatoes and fries in
Yeah.
Amsterdam. But there's so many great vegan places. What are you doing?
Really? Yeah, that's no.
Let me give
I
you a-
love
no.
potatoes though.
I also love potatoes. Don't
So
get me
that's why,
wrong.
Like 99% of my diet is potatoes.
High five on that. I'll give you that. I fucking love potatoes also. This is a map of vegan restaurants in Amsterdam.
I will leave today though, so it's kind of.
If you can still have
fortunate.
time for a vegan
Yeah.
sushi bar, there's one here.
Oh, I saw this one. I saw this one.
It's so good. The sushi is so
Really?
freaking good. It's delicious.
I think I will head up there right now.
Go for
because
it.
I'm hungry though. Oh, it's
But it's in the
almost 4
east.
o'clock.
Huh?
Yeah, I know.
And there's also one in the west.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
This might be closer because if you take the tram from here, it might take you there. So you can,
Yeah,
if
no,
you look
but
on
I
Google.
but I live near here. Like I.
Oh,
my house
oh,
is
okay,
near
okay,
here, So
okay.
I will head there.
It's
Thank
freaking
you
delicious.
So
Give
much.
it a try.
I really appreciate you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
thank you
doing
for having this and
awareness.
Let me give you also a card with my YouTube channel.
Yeah, of course.
And
And please, no camera, like no recording of my face.
no, none of that.
Thank you.
I respect your consent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Cheers. I mean, she was almost there, I guess. I don't know, everyone. I think I'm gonna call it a day. If somebody else comes, we'll stop. But otherwise, I probably am gonna call it a day. Oh, she said she's trying her best, right? I don't know. Tell her. Veganism should absolutely be a personal belief. You can't impose your value and your morals on other people and act as if your opinion is holier than thou. I don't know if it's a belief necessarily. I don't know. Nice music. Eh. I don't know. I'm not one of those people who thinks jazz is automatically good. It's okay. It's nothing special, is it? It's just some notes being hit on a saxophone. I don't even know if that's good. Like I don't know how to judge whether the saxophone is good or not. It just sounds like a saxophone, which kind of sounds cool, but I don't know if it's good or not. I think she does label herself vegan because she still feels some guilt around her choices or situations of compromise. Maybe she does, Stardust. I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe she does. Maybe she does. I think people who are exactly there, I think she might do the right choices. I think she will make the right choices going forward. I think she still does in a lot of situations, but sometimes she's trying. But I think when I said that you are not being readily, like intentionally ignorant, I think she felt that. It felt like she did feel that, so, you know. No need to be analytical about everything. Well, I want to be analytical about the way I do outreach because I'm pretty self-aware when I do outreach. I'm pretty focused on the conversation. And a lot of the times I think what would be the best thing to say. And sometimes it's sad to say, but sometimes even the slightest thing could go in one direction or another. So yeah, at least she gets it. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think she gets it, and I think she's almost there. She's almost there, yeah. Shout out Project Livestream. Yeah, David, there's this thing called Project Livestream. Honestly, all this vegan talk is making me hungry for my favorite vegan pizza spot. Hell yeah, man, Stardust, amazing. Yeah, I haven't had some pizza in so long. Not because I don't like pizza, I love pizza. Vegan pizza is freaking amazing. I don't like the fact that it has so many calories. A pizza has so many calories. When I make it at home, I count the calories and I make it like 600 calories per pizza, 700. But when I go to the restaurant, it's just like 1,500 calories one, and it's not that much better. So al cazzone, except for al cazzone. Okay, I've had al cazzone. I remember that. The pizza there was so good. Actually, I think every food that I had in Berlin was amazing. Yeah, Beetle Baby, that's a good one. I'm gonna come to Berlin soon. I said that we're gonna be coming. David, I need to text you about that, by the way. Tone person. Yeah, I guess I don't eat pizza when I'm in Amsterdam. I eat pizza whenever I go outside of Amsterdam. I don't know why. Compassion tastes so much better than cruelty. Yeah. Chip, watch Bugonia if you get the chance. Is that like a movie, Bugonia? Let me take a snapshot of this if I can. Okay, I saved it to photos. I live in New York City, so pizza has a special place in my heart. Ooh, Stardust. So when I was in New York City, I was in New York City for a week, and I was with a friend who we do our own shit. You know, we're like, don't really care. We're like, oh, I'm gonna do my thing, you'll do your thing. You guys wanna have a conversation? Yeah. I'll give you a card afterwards. I'll give you a card afterwards.
We're here again.
Say it again?
Still debating about vegan shit?
I want to debate about vegan shit.
You want to debate about vegan shit? How old are you?
18.
18. Are you keeping live on YouTube?
Live?
Yeah.
How many people?
Hey guys.
Like 80. Are you keeping live on YouTube?
86 people.
No, I don't care. I don't
Welcome
mind.
to the
Okay,
stream,
okay.
guys.
Live on YouTube. Coming in from Amsterdam.
You wanna come here so that you review?
Here?
Yeah. What's your name?
Chef.
Chef, I'm Chip.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so tell me, what morally justifies exploiting innocent animals? Yeah.
This is the one. Okay, nice.
Well, it's been in our nature for all of our lives.
Do you think the duration of an action makes it moral or not?
No. It's not about being immoral, it's about our health.
We really had a long discussion about this last time. You don't remember?
I remember your face. I don't remember the discussion exactly. I have like
super good.
Don't you get tired of talking about veganism all the time?
I do. I would rather not have to. I wish we would just be vegan so I don't have to talk about all this shit. I wish I could focus on
But it's
women's rights and
proven
other
for us
stuff.
that meat is good for us.
No, it's not. It's actually the studies show more and more that. Have you ever heard of the Oxford study?
No, there are a lot of Oxford studies.
The large Oxford study on plant-based nutrition. It's done on 500,000 people over 30 years, and the people who are on a plant-based diet had better health outcomes than the people who are on an animal-based diet.
Okay, was it taken into consideration who smoked, who
all of it? Yes.
I think in
they actually the
consideration is like
advantage.
the taste as well. I think
I
it's
like
very
meat.
important. Yeah.
I like meat and I will forever eat meat.
It's
I
like
think
when
it's better for the culture, for the
je moet
world.
wel openstaan voor een
No,
discussie.
I'm open for a discussion, but I think it's better for the world if everybody just hunted their own deer and just ate it at home.
That would mean that you eat meat once a year, because there's just not enough animals.
Well, there is right now, right?
No, there isn't.
So how do I get my meat from the store?
Well, we bring them into existence 80 billion
Yeah, but
land
we
animals.
give money as well. We pay and it's good and it's an economic system. It's people's jobs.
It's bad for the economy. It's bad for jobs.
It's good for economy. It's good for jobs.
Very bad for the economy.
No, it's money. It gives money for
Yeah, but
people that have
it doesn't.
money. Is good.
Nobody's actually. The only people who are making money out of this are the big corporations.
Yeah, that's good, right?
You think big corporations is good
Fuck
to make money?
veganism!
Oh, that's me. That's me.
That's not mean. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
But,
I think we are going. Have a nice day.
Sure. But let me explain just quickly economically, and we can go. So economically
No,
speaking.
no, I really have to go because
Okay.
have a nice day.
Just have a good one, man. You guys want to have a conversation? Just had to leave. Apparently, I had a conversation with him before. I guess they knew what it's about, so they left, of course. Perfect time to not shake their hand. Yeah, it's okay. I shook the guy's hand who I had the conversation with because he was at least respectful. But yeah. He was right. No, he was not right. Economically speaking, it's very bad for the economy. I'll explain it to all of you guys here, since he didn't stick around to listen to the economical reasons. It's fairly simple. We actually use a lot of our money, first of all, to hide what happens to animals. You can't say that that's not wasted money, right? The fact that a lot of your money that you pay for animal products, a lot of that money goes towards industries that use that money to hide what's happening to them. They use a lot of that money to put in the pockets of politicians so that they make what is called animal agriculture gag laws. That means you're not allowed to film what's happening in slaughterhouse or stuff like that. For instance, if you're a slaughterhouse worker and you see something that is fucked up and you want to film it with your phone, you go to jail. You're not allowed to. Why? Because they put money in the pockets of politicians. So part of your money goes towards hiding it, part of your money goes towards politicians for all of this. Part of your money also goes towards politicians but not for this, but rather so that they keep getting not incentives, Jesus. This fucking trumpet is messing with my head. So that they keep getting subsidies. That's all it is. So part of your taxes goes towards animal agriculture, and parts of your money goes towards animal agriculture so that they use the money that you paid in taxes so that they get subsidies. So in other words, their profits are not big enough. They want to earn even more. So when you're paying for animal products, you're paying to generate more profit for the largest corporations in the world. And not just the largest, but the actual most evil corporations in the world. Because these are corporations who pollute rivers. These are corporations who don't care about, like a lot of you come in here, well, what about the indigenous people or the poor countries? They don't care about it. Let me explain exactly how much they don't care about it. There's actually been a study showing that was it a study or an article? What was happening was that intensive farming done by big corporations around the smallest islands in the Pacific, where people were dependent on the farming in that area, the biggest corporations came in there, they started doing intensive farming, what do you call it, when removing all the fishes from the water, essentially, right? Like there would be almost nothing for the actual people there to fish. And what do you think they used that for? You would think, well, at least, you know what, they fed some people with it. They didn't. They used all those fish that they farmed in those small islands to feed to salmon in the Western Europe and in US. So it's fucking insane. Like, people are suffering from it. People are suffering from it. Animals are suffering from it. There's just like the environment, we can't even say the environment is monumentally worse off of it. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane to even think that it is good in any single way, because there's absolutely nothing good about it. It harms your health, it harms the environment, it harms the people, and worst of all, it exploits and slaughters hundreds and thousands of innocent animals. Why? All because I gotta get my meat in my mouth. If not, I feel like a tiny little man. If I don't have a little flesh in my mouth, I feel like a tiny little man. I can't feel like a little man. And it's grossly inefficient too. It's stupid. Don't be that person. Come on. Really. Like, honestly, everyone's suffering from this shit. And I really like the response, because I don't know if you guys saw the Jubilee debate. It was really good. But what they had which was something that wasn't done in any other type of video. They had another video where they did a follow-up, right, with the guy. And I really like how I don't know if it was how it ended, or at least where I got to the point was, well, why veganism? Why fight for veganism, right? And I really like what the response he gave, because it's, you know why? Because veganism just touches on so many aspects of it. They just touch on everything. They touch on human rights, because of the immigrants. They touch on animal rights. They touch on the environment. It just making this simple change, this low-hanging fruit that we have. Because literally, all you gotta do is make a different choice. This little change is massive for everyone. And it's so insane. It's so insane that we have to defend it, that we have to defend what happens to animals, that we have to defend all this position. And it's so insane that we have to do all this, you know? It's the world we live in, isn't it? It's the world we live in. Yeah. Yeah, like, look at this guy, Mike. God made us to digest meat, so you shouldn't feel bad about eating it. By that logic, God made you to be able to digest human flesh, so you shouldn't be able to feel bad if you eat human flesh, right? Using your own logic. Simple as that. That's what I'm saying. There's no logical reason. It's just stupid. Indigenous suffer as a result of animal agriculture as well. So much, David, don't they? Like the amount of the like we talk about lands being taken, like lands are being taken away from indigenous constantly by animal agriculture, but we talk about how much sheer land animal agriculture uses, but we don't talk about the fact that, for example, I think in a state, where was the state in US where the factory farms there were polluting a river. It was so many cases of cancer spiked in a whole village or a whole town there, and they had to take them to court in order for them to stop polluting the river. Like, they even didn't stop when they were asked to stop. They had to sue them. And after they sued them, what did they do? They appealed. They're like, fuck you. They're like, we know we're polluting. We already established we're polluting. We don't know we're giving you cancer. Well, you know what? Fuck you. We're gonna fight back, and we're gonna give, hey, little puppy. Oh, golden retrievers. Look at him. Look at him. Cutie. Oh my god. Oh yeah, sorry. When I see a golden retriever, I overreact. And what did they do? So what the hell did they do? They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep polluting you, and if you fight us back, we're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna use all our money to keep fighting against you. There's a slaughterhouse in Canada that wiped out entire ecosystems. They took it from the indigenous people. Now they mock it with killing millions a week. Exactly. It's fucking insane, man. It's fucking insane. It's insane. And all the trolls and the nonsense people in the chat, well, you know what? Guys, trolls, people who are not vegan, you're not on the right side of history. You're on the wrong side of history. You're on the wrong side of the issue. You are the villain in this situation. You are the oppressor in this situation. You are the individuals who, when you watch a movie and you're like rooting for the underdog, for the good guy, you would be rooting for me there. You would be rooting for me, for the ones who's fighting against these fucking corporations, against you guys oppressing innocent animals. Because honestly, I don't care if it's done by a corporation or a small company. They're all exploiting animals. So yeah, you are the ones who are actively choosing to oppress, exploit, and slaughter innocent animals. So next time you look at yourself in the mirror, ask yourself, am I the good guy in this situation? You may not be. You may not be. That's all it is, yeah. Yeah, because those who believe in God are just so happy. They use their God to justify harm in the world. Yeah, so happy. Yeah, exactly. I want to give a shout out to Tone. He was the first to comment on the last stream. But I also want to give a shout out to Jacqueline because he was the first to comment on the stream yesterday. And you know, I kind of want to be fair, but I want to give a special shout out to Tone. I also want to give a thanks for the compliments. Keep fighting. We'll keep up the fight. Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Felix. He was the first to comment on the stream, and Linda, who was the first to find the image, the number in the image in the thumbnail. So in case you're wondering. The Amazon is getting cut down for logging and industrial farms. 100%, yeah. Most of the deforestation worldwide, by the way, is because of animal agriculture. Well, most of the deforestation done for food is because of animal agriculture, to be clear, right? Because, for example, we grow crops not just for animal agriculture. We grow crops also to use as synthetic oil, fertilizer, a lot of stuff, right? But the ones that we cut out for food, most of that is used for animal agriculture, like 80% of it. In case everyone was wondering what about the shout-outs, so we give a shout-out to the first person to comment on the chat, to say the first thing in the chat. That was Felix. We give a shout-out to the person who finds the secret number of the stream that is put into the thumbnail of the stream. And that was Linda. Thank you, Linda. And we give a shout-out to the first person to comment on the last stream, and that was Tone when the stream ended. So shout-out to that, yeah. You know, and everyone, don't be a hater. Be vegan. Be nice to animals. That's what we're saying. It's not that difficult. Try Challenge 22 if you're not vegan and you're like, how do I do it? Challenge 22, they'll help you out on that. And you know, if you're wondering why to do it, the 3-minute video helps you out with a lot of that. I'll be back again probably tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be a little bit earlier because I'm going to a birthday party later. So, yeah. Lol, I'm a fisherman. I'm not stopping. Well, so nice. I told you, you're an oppressor. Of course, you do you. I can't stop you from doing what you're doing. Just be aware that you are an oppressor when you're doing that. That's as simple as that. There's a Discord channel also in the description of the stream. If you have comments, join there. If you have questions, join there. I'm also there a lot of the time, so why not? The 3-minute video, thank you Martin for putting the 3-minute video. I'm gonna pin it. Yeah, watch the 3-minute video. It takes 3 minutes out of your life. You watch it and then you learn what it is that we're talking about. 3 minutes out of your life, huh? 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that's all it is. That's all it is, 3 minutes. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Be vegan. What is it? Be smart, be strong, be vegan. I like that. That's what I'll keep saying. Be smart, be strong, be vegan. How? Smart, strong, vegan. SSV, smart, strong, vegan. If you're not smart, strong, vegan, what are you doing? Smart, strong, vegan. Smart, strong, vegan. Evolution proves me wrong? Not at all. Evolution proves us that we should be vegan. That's why we evolved to a society where we don't need to oppress animals, and oppressing animals is doing us badly. Again, for society, for our health. So if you talk about evolution, evolution is telling us be vegan. Smart, strong, vegan. Smart, strong, vegan. It's time for vegan pizza. Hell yeah, Stardust. I appreciate you. Stardust, subscribe and be more here. I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate the questions, okay? Keep dropping questions in the comments afterwards, okay? Because that's what we're here. We're here to answer questions.